Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master today. Today, we are continuing on with our ongoing campaign, playing Jeff Talanian's very cool Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. And with me today are the stars of this. Now, we're starting a little late because our kind players were trying to bamboozle me with their joviality and their friendship. Okay, if I want to chat and get caught up, I don't want to start my random encounter that we left as a cliffhanger. But the stars of it, let's do the introductions of who's playing today and who you're playing. I'll start with on the left and work my way right. Will, who are you playing?
Good morning. My name's Will. I'm playing Amar, who is a monk. He's actually a Sikh warrior from 18th century Earth.
Nice. Next up is Robert.
Yeah, I'm playing Reagan, actually I guess she's like third level now, Kelp Viking runegraver who happened to have a father in the prologue who she's hoping to meet again, and I'm not sure I want to.
I can't wait. Next up is Arlen Walker.
You threw me off with that introduction. Yeah. Hi, I'm Arlen. I'm playing Yason the Berserker. He's a warrior poet from the north.
Nice. Next up is Colin.
Yeah, I am playing Kane, and he is a simple fighter, and he longs for the life of town, weary of these steps. The ice and snow and Canadian weather.
I'm sick of moose and beaver. Next up is George.
George, I'm playing Mallow Black, who is a Chimeric Celt warlock, and he too is looking forward to one day, maybe some point, reaching Tuleborg.
Nice. And last but not least, returning from his sabbatical, is Carl.
Hello, I'm Carl Rodriguez. I'm playing Iphigenia Atantadoros. She is also a warlock, but she is Amazonian.
Carl, I'm not sure if you watched last episode, but
No.
We actually had a pretty eventful thing, which saw something attack the camp and not start by attacking Iphigenia.
For once.
For once.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. However, speaking of attacks, so where we left our session last time was with everyone resting peacefully around their fire, their bellies full of water and food, and with Kane on watch. And Kane had saw some strange figures moving in very close to the camp. And let's see. Let's take a look at the chat here. Did we have... Holy smokes, we were having a whole conversation beforehand.
Yeah.
Did not roll.
Colin and I were hanging out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so then I guess what we need to do then is nominate who's going to be the initiative roller, or the first initiative roller at least.
I'm happy to do that and then get that out of the way when I fail.
So one of the things I've, it's now coming up on about 5 weeks until our gaming marathon, and Ash is a strong contender for what I might run there. And what I was going to do is pick up the biggest D6 I can and have two of them, so I'd roll mine in front of everyone and
That's awesome.
have it just passed around the table as we go.
That's great.
Okay, let's see here. So you got to beat my 3. Ooh, tied. All right.
Dexterity.
Heck, Kevin?
I think nobody has a dexterity less than 10, right?
Nope.
Correct?
We are on the
No.
Thule map. We're not on the battle map. Just so
Yeah,
you know.
that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah, we're doing Theater of the Mind today. Which I mean, I fucked up. Hold on. There we go.
Aha!
I like Tuleborg better.
Yeah.
Good help.
It's actually going to be like a really massive battle.
Oh, God.
Are you sure we need to fight these guys? They look pretty civilized.
Yeah. So what? Kane, you have the higher dex, so I guess let's do this. Everyone else doesn't have to declare the actions because your 2-phase actions will be sleep and sleep. So Kane, you are up first. Why don't you declare your actions for phase 1, phase 2, and then we will jump into it. I know what these guys are doing.
Okay.
while you're doing that too, and this is not going to be applicable for this scene, but I want to remind the players that there are these really cool maneuvers that you can take advantage of, and one of those I was reminded of while I was rereading the book over the weekend is the prepared range attacks. So if you have like a thrown weapon ready, or if you have a bow ready, you can act on phase 0 effectively before anyone else goes.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So
Does that also work with the like, can you combine that with the arrow? I don't remember what you call it, but the one where
Arrow
placing
arrow.
your no, you have to have something like strung and ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you had it in front of you, like, could you do the first attack with that and then do your prepared arrow in the second?
I think so. Let's take a look. We're getting that ready.
I think I might only have 2 arrows left, so I might be moved. But
if you've used any arrows, just assume that for now, just assume half of them are gone.
yeah, that's what I was doing.
Oh, you only had 4 to start with?
No, sorry, I actually have 5. I was joking.
Okay. I was gonna say, good lord. I know Kane is down to 5, but
So what I'm planning to do there is start shouting, raise the alarm, fire my bow, then drop my bow and draw my hammer. So is that like range and then melee?
okay. So if so the shouting will be free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then then fire my bow. That's
Okay.
the first phase.
Yes, and then melee. Well, you can't fire your bow and then melee. What you could do is fire your bow and then get your drop it, grab your hammer, and then you could do a move if you want.
Okay. So my second action should be move then. So it's range and move.
Okay. So I'm assuming all of you guys are going to be awake. What I'll get you guys to do. Why doesn't everybody
individual surprise?
Yeah, individual surprise. Let's see what happens there.
Oh, alrighty
That's
It-
Incoming.
Okay, so Yason, Iphigenia are a little kind of look. They're going to lose next round, but everyone who wasn't surprised, you're good to go. Okay, so you scream and range the surprise. Go ahead. Oh, so in answer to your question, Robert, you can fire your bow. And we forgot, we got a poem we got to hear first.
Oh, I was going to say, I think Kane has not leveled up his character because on the stream I can see 24 hit points, which I think is level 3, not level 4.
Oh, okay. Hold on here. So you will gain. Where are you? Fighter.
Did I level up then?
Yeah, I think you
At
guys
the
all
end of
did.
last time, yeah.
Right? Because
I thought so.
you're at 9,000 for your level up.
Oh yeah, I've got 9,000. I think I nearly got 10,000 actually.
Yeah, we're at almost 10, so
Yeah, so
Okay, so your fighting ability is going to be 4. Your hit points. So you will gain. Let me think here. It's an even level, so it's round down. So you'll gain 5 hit points plus your con modifier. So 6 hit points. So you're at 30 hit points now.
Nice.
Javis. Okay.
okay, cool.
Not bad. Boy, I got to try and kill you guys harder. My goodness. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah, 9591. Yeah.
All right. So, then, go ahead and make your range attack. Oh, sorry. And to answer your question, Robert, actually, before we do that, 2 things. First, Robert, so the ready thing is only 1 shot. So you don't get to make your full range attacks, even if you've got mastery and you're going on faster. But we forgot to start with our the way we always start the session, which is with epic poem.
all right. So I was letting you guys know a little bit of the thought process in really early Old English poetry. Rather than end rhyme, what's really important is internal rhyme, which is rhyme within the line. So I'm trying to do a little bit more of that to capture the spirit of the real ancient poetry.
Nice.
Cool.
I can hear the clinking glasses filled with mead and all the masses of men who cheer as the time passes, but I cannot help but assess that all the echoes of the blessed do ring with all the Valkyries' cries, and would that they had tearful eyes for us lost souls whose rhymes are dying, whose tongues are lying, whose bodies bruised and battered are spent trying, for we are heroes under duress, obsessed and crying out for something, a shining, blinding holiness, reminding us to stay the course on our lost way in bleak Thule.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Like it.
All
Yeah.
right. Then, Kane, why don't you go ahead and give us... oh, wait. Oh, that was Robert. Oh, no. So, no. The guys who are surprised, you're not going to...
Was I surprised?
Yeah, I think what I'll say is that for the ones who were not surprised, you're going to have phase 2 to act.
Okay.
Okay, so... but you don't need to spend a move to no, I think you would need to spend a move to get up.
Right. Okay.
Oh, man, it's snowing again here now.
Your arrows,
Oh, wow.
Is it about to snow for us in game?
Yeah, it just started snowing. No, I knew there was another winter storm coming
with
in.
the
Oh,
weather.
no.
What's up with
We're
that?
doomed.
So then it's
Jeez.
basically, so for me, my only option in the second phase is move to stand up, right?
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Okay. All right. So then 9 is unfortunately not quite good enough. So you let loose your arrow. It goes wild. And then it's ended their turn. Now it's theirs. Okay. And as these things come shambling forward. Oh, man. Last night I got to not only do undead moving sounds, I got to do a ghoul voice for like half an hour. It was awesome.
Did you get to do the voice chomping on a player?
Yeah, I did actually make masticating sounds for ghouls that were out of sight. That was pretty gross. Okay, so and then as these things come shambling in, what you can see, they are slightly larger than human. They're they move with a crudeness to their form and structure that tells you that they're not as far removed from their simian ancestors as what proper men are. However, you also can tell as they move into light, Kane, that these things have something horrific has befallen these creatures, because they're covered by the same greasy, graying, barnacled mold that you saw on those other things that walked up on your camp. And as these things come shambling forward, they do the exact same thing as those others and throw their arms back and explode out with this burst of spores. So what I need is for everybody, because I think I can catch everyone with this, everyone needs to please give me a death save, please, a poison save. And everyone has a point of astonishing fortune to start, and Arlen has 2.
I don't even need it.
You don't even need it. Nice. Okay, so we got a fail from Will,
You
or from Amar. Oh,
We
boy.
just woke up. Come on.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Hey, why didn't mine go?
Okay.
I've just lost my.
You did.
Oh, man.
You failed both
Okay.
times.
Oh, okay, great. Not great.
So I just need from Kane, I guess.
Yeah,
And-
I seem to have misplaced my roll 20. Hold on.
Okay.
God damn it.
Wow.
I'm guessing
You know, one thing,
probably-
while Kane's...
Right, here we are. Right.
Excellent. I will point out
save.
that there's a wide variety of very cool classes you can play in Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea.
Let me start
Yeah, I
Is it
was,
def-
character.
I was telling
Def
John
save.
about my backup character last night. You know,
You have a backup there.
already ready to go
Yeah.
if Jason bites the dust.
I still think it's hilarious that in the character folio that they kickstarted,
Oh,
they've got those little like cheat sheet versions of what the character classes are, so you can start dreaming up your backup already.
That's right.
Holy shit, that's a lot of failures.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's gonna be a lot of astonishing fortune spent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who is not spending astonishing fortune to make that save? Just type your name or your character name in chat, and we'll know that they something may have befallen them.
I
Anyone?
think I'm going to use it.
I think it's
Okay.
explosive.
I
No,
wanted to
thanks.
see what would
So-
happen.
So everyone is using their astonishing fortune.
Yeah.
I need to start more sessions
Yes.
this way. This really
Yeah.
helps your face.
Yeah, exactly.
Burn it off
Okay.
at the
Counter
beginning,
the
right?
dragon.
Okay, so the so you guys are covered, and then that's the extent of their first phase action. So now we are on to phase 2. Kane, you have that mighty hammer in your hand
Yes.
now, and let's see here. Malo's jumping up. It looks like, and
Right.
okay, and we got Rain and Malo are both up and ready to fight next turn. Cool.
Cool.
Then I guess that's the end of the first round, guys. Let's roll initiative.
Declare
So-
first.
I didn't fail.
I beat my 1.
I think I can do that.
The 2. Fairly. All right, guys. Oh, shit. We should have declared actions first.
Actually, I should have done this, right? I should have said,
We can pick a full phase to stand up.
Take a move to spend a phase.
Yeah.
Kick ass, nice. I'm gonna whoop him.
Right.
Whoop ass. Lay
Yeah,
some
actually, that's a good
smack
question.
down.
Is this considered round 2 for in terms of how many melee attacks we're getting, or we're round 1? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep,
So that's
yep.
amend
I
mine
think
to
just,
be
rather than tracking
times 2.
everyone individually, it's just easier to do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even rounds will be perfect.
Yeah, and like
Okay,
sometimes
so-
it'll work out for you guys, sometimes it won't. So
yeah. Great.
so, melee, we're allowed to move half of our move, right?
yes, you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
these guys, if they got like a glazed over look, is like do they seem like they're not fully with it?
They seem as if if they're like those things you faced before. This is a different species from what you fought before. And I think actually, let's see here. Iphigenia and Malo can go ahead and give me a D6 roll. Let's see whether you're familiar with this. Oh yeah. Yeah, you know these things well, Iphigenia. These are Vormis.
Mm.
A degenerate either offshoot of man or some other kind of failed, a competitor that went along a different evolutionary route.
Huh.
Something that lives in the wilds of the central Hyperborea.
Cool.
They are generally extremely, basically, if you think of like Beastman from He-Man, but not like craven and subservient, that's what the Vormis look like.
And not orange.
They are orange, actually.
Oh, are they?
Right.
Yeah, it's
That's
Beastman is a weird like Clark Ashton Smith reference because like when you read the description of Vormis, they look exactly like fucking Beastman.
Oh, right, exactly.
Huh.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Orange as well.
Yeah. So okay,
I think we're ready. Yeah.
yeah, excellent. So Malo, you have no idea what these things are.
No,
But,
I have
yeah.
no idea. Just they're bad.
Let me see if there's anything that you. Okay, well, what you can also tell Iphigenia is that this is not what they normally look like. Like obviously, something disgusting has infected them. It's the same kind of like horrible mold things that you fought before, but they were men before rather than Vormis.
So something's causing this phenomena.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Someone has gardening as a secondary skill, right?
Yes,
so.
Iphigenia does.
Iphigenia does. Okay, cool. So we'll actually, I'll say that roll was good for that. We'll deal with it after combat, but there's some other information you may have. Okay, so who wants to go first? Melee. We got a bunch of people doing melee.
I shall go first.
Great.
Okay.
I fix this beast man in his orangeness with a steely glare. Swing my mighty magical
There it comes.
hammer.
Oh, I thought you were
Wow.
Feel
Wow.
the
Baby.
rock
All
of
right.
Cain.
So give me
Wow.
a D6 roll for your crit, please.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Let's hear where's crit results. Nice. Okay.
That kind of makes up for failing to save.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
A 3.
3. Oh.
3 is times 2
Times
damage.
2.
that's pretty good.
Ooh. So
Wow.
30 damage. How does this thing? How does this thing go down beneath your mighty hammer?
I think I like come up as if I was striking down on an anvil, and just like straight on top of his head, and just like like pound him down flat like a pin into a board, like a nail into a board.
Yeah. Okay, so
Awesome.
you will have a second attack this round as well because this is round 2.
Okay, cool.
So you can take a 5-foot step as well if you like.
Yeah,
I mean, you can move your full move in between the attacks, but
can I reach that? God, guessing I can just about reach this fool. Get up behind him. I think smack him around the back of the head.
Yeah.
Just and then come across with a sort of a horizontal type of blow around the back of his head.
Okay.
See if we can get a twofer.
Boom! That hits as well.
Nice.
Oh, sends it staggering forward.
Forward,
The whole back
yeah.
of its head has basically collapsed in, and it's hanging down. So you feel like the force of the blow must have torn part of the spine apart. So it's kind of, its head lolling forward. Its furred mane full with this Icarus black blood that's beginning to seep out of it. Who wants to go next?
Stumbling towards Marlowe there.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go next.
Great.
Okay.
Nice.
So,
Yes.
Amar, so you leap to your feet and then...
Uh-oh.
Whoa!
I get the
Yeah.
first one. I don't
Okay.
think I get the second. I don't know.
So, yes, they both actually hit.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, Fist of Fury, baby.
Nice. Wham, wham. And this thing likewise, too. One of your first strike with your fist collapses its face in. So the whole, the orbital bone collapses in. You hear squoosh. That's just pushed into its brain, which doesn't, that should have been a lethal shot. Does not take it down. So you spin around and hit it on the side of the head with your other fist. And it collapses that in as well. And still this thing continues moving.
Oof. Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah. It's really messed up, though. Who would like to go next?
So Reagan will go if she can move a half an attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, she got up last turn. That's right.
Yep. So I think she can get here, right? So she saw that Amar. She was basically trying to decide which one to go after based on the attacks that the others did. Saw that this one looks pretty beat up, and so comes in with her axe.
Yep.
And
Here we go. Big money.
try to find.
Did
So
Amar?
lots of attack with anything?
Sorry, did Reagan ding last session?
No, she's like she's a little bit off.
Okay.
She missed a couple of sessions.
Oh, so you swing that battle axe, and you would have hit this thing would it not been for that second hit from Amar. That staggers out of the way, and you kind of whiff off through the air. Who would like to go next?
Mallow will go.
Okay.
So he'll move up as he unsheathes his scimitar, and some ice that's formed on the sheath kind of gets cracked off and sprays through the air as he swings. And he's got 2 attacks. Here's the first one. Nope.
Ooh.
Too much ice. Oh,
Oh,
no.
not one.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
He barely loses his grip on his blade. It's
Yeah,
cold.
kind of virtually slides out of your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this thing is gonna.
Oh man.
Oh, I know what's gonna happen next round.
Oh, great.
Let's see here. Who else declared melee? Nobody. Okay, so then we go into range or missile. No. Magic, not first round. Move. So we got a bunch of people
Stand up.
Yep.
Standing up.
Well, you leap to your feet, and okay, second round. Move. These things stagger forward and try to get in contact with Amar and Reagan. This one goes forward to try and get to Malo, and that's it for melee.
Move.
We got Jason is going to go a melee.
Jason's going to come up between Amar and Reagan.
Yep.
Because they're the squishiest.
Okay.
Thank you.
Coming through.
You're welcome.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice.
Showing them how
Okay.
it's done.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, yeah, so you carve that thing down. The damage that Amar has done to it left it incredibly vulnerable, and you knocked it the head to the side. You come racing in with your is it your axe or your sword?
Bastard sword.
Bastard sword, right. You carve this thing down, and you do enough damage to the old body structure that it just collapses, still twitching with the mold on it.
You all right, squishy ones?
Are you berserking? We may not be.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Good point.
Okay, so let's see here. I think that's it from the lead second phase. Missile second
Magic.
phase. No. Magic.
All right, I can actually. So are they still? They're still alive. Both of them are still up.
One of them is.
One of them. This one.
Okay. All right. Okay, they're still on there. All right. So Iphigenia, I'm gonna break out her new spell, Scythe of the
Ooh.
Reaper. So she does that, sort of guttural. It's very odd. I mean, it's like if you know the band's Arch Enemy and Ginger, it's a female lead, so you don't really expect a guttural voice, but that's what happens. You hear this and this black notes of energy surround Iphigenia, and the scythe appears out of the air and speeds toward. It's at 30-foot range after you cast it. Speeds towards that creature.
Nice.
And slashes at it.
Awesome.
Okay, so what do I get? Do I have to make a save or?
I rolled to hit as a fighter.
Okay.
My ability. So I guess which thing can I just roll a d20, I guess.
Yeah. What do you have? Do
Yeah,
you have
what do
any
you think I should
weapons
do?
that aren't mastery?
Maybe. Yeah, I could do that one. It's like
Yeah.
the hand axe, but the damage is more.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll roll damage separately, but that will tell us what AC it hits.
Or actually, there's a d20. Oh, that's the damage for the scythe. Okay, never mind. I'll just roll to hit first, and then the damage.
Okay,
down
let's see
below.
here. So, wow,
Oh, nice.
that hits. Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, and
the
go ahead and roll damage.
Did it do it? Damage. Okay, 8, I guess. Is that right?
Awesome. Yeah. So
Alright.
that what does it look like? As
Oh,
it,
you have to roll. You have to roll a d6 to see how long it lasts. That's what you do.
Okay.
1d6 rounds. I don't know how long it'll last.
Okay. So, and then also what I'll do is I'll set this D6 aside. Well, this is going to destroy this thing.
Yes.
But what I'll do in future is just I will set aside. I'll roll the D6. I'll set it aside and then count it down as we go. That'll be my way of tracking that.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, it
That's
just
awesome.
phew, suddenly. What color is the scythe? It's
It's
like dark.
jet black with trailing motes of
Nice.
energy, necromantic energy.
Okay,
Wow.
so this thing just cuts through this from nowhere, and both Kane and Malo, you both kind of look over and you see this thing, trailing back. And I imagine that Iphigenia's eyes are all streaming this black necrotic energy as well.
Yep.
Sorcery.
Thankfully.
I point at Kane. You're welcome. I mean, you're welcome.
he just laughs.
That's
Okay.
So sorcery amuses me.
All right, so that is done. These things are done, but these are becoming a more regular pest for yourself. Or for you guys. The closer you seem to be getting to Thuleborg. Geez, I hope that the infection hasn't reached Thuleborg.
Oh no!
Wow.
Same here.
Here I go writing a poem about how great it's going to be to carouse.
Exactly.
Kevin's going to destroy the town before we get there.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, what will happen is we'll run out of astonishing points. We'll actually be infected. We'll be the ones who infect the world.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh, we can't infect it. We can't find it.
That's
Station
true.
0.
It's safe
By
from
the
us.
way, there's a large elk over here to the southeast. We could go kill that one too.
Okay, so the apart from that, the evening is otherwise uneventful.
Otherwise,
Yeah. Now, the reason I wanted to I mentioned the gardening thing, Iphigenia, you go over and Carl, I'm trying to remember, were you here the last time you guys had these infected mold things come into camp?
Yeah, there are like some infected bandits or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you go in and study this, and so this is a specific type of mold. It's some kind of unnatural fungus that infects. It can be it's an incredibly pernicious infection that kills the infected party fairly quickly. Let's see here. Kills most mammals after 48 hours. And then basically it horribly transforms the victim into a shambling transmitter of the disease or of the fungal infection.
So,
Okay.
to be clear, not all of the undead we have run into have been these fungus infected.
There Well, there's a difference between, and Iphigenia could just need to roll for this. She'll know the difference. This is not necromantic power. This is, unnatural spores.
So we have both immense necromantic power raising some dead things and spores that kill and then re-raise some other dead things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything's going well.
Glad we're on the same page.
The way Iphigenia can explain it is as like these are not the hosts may be dead, but the colonies that are these shambling things, they're very much alive.
So
She
these
also-
are not really alive, are they? It's just the
So we
fungus
should.
is still
Do we have
yeah,
fire?
the
Do we have fire
fungus.
going on?
Yep.
Oddly,
We should burn these bodies.
And you should also
Great.
any of your blades that have cut through this stuff, you should purify that as well.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
cleanse them. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will, so just plunge your hands into
Yeah, no problem.
the.
Hey, we walk through fire. No big deal.
By the way, Reagan looks conflicted as Iphigenia explains this. At first she seems relieved that these things are not undead per se, but then she curses the spores for not allowing the bodies to rest. So the souls may rest, but the bodies can't.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
What is Iphigenia, do you recommend a certain course of action to purify this hammer of mine? I feel it is contaminated.
I'm sure just heat. I mean, as we burn the bodies, just let it, get heated up by the fire. I mean, fire cleanses. And I look at Malo, right? I mean, I'm assuming.
Of course. Yes.
Then I'll follow the directions of the ones who
Especially
know
in
such
this
things.
environment. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of this landscape. Is heat.
Okay. Keep talking amongst yourself. I got to check one thing here, guys.
No, no.
So, what
Oh,
is our
boy.
plan to proceed for this new day?
So
We were
talked
headed for the
about-
coast.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do have another question. So is there like does it look like the spores are mainly like around the head and neck area as if they were like inhaled, or does it seem to matter if it gets on the
No,
on the
I mean,
body?
you rolled really well on that roll too. So no, it's exposure.
Okay. Wow.
Like you should all do a thorough cleansing of yourself to make sure that you're not.
okay.
Man.
Can Prada maybe like cast her purify food and drink on the monk's hands? He doesn't. I'm
I
concerned
don't think
for Amar
that.
because he's like punching these things.
Let's see here.
Or
Purify.
I guess it would have to.
Yeah, purify food and drink wouldn't work, but I think Amar, can you get rid of disease with your?
Yeah,
Shock?
actually, I can.
Okay.
And
He did make a saving throw. I mean, didn't you? Maybe that's what.
Yeah, I failed my save originally, but I mean, it's been a point
But
of
you use Astonishing Fortune. Yeah. But then you.
But
punch
yeah,
the
I can
thing.
basically cast Cure Disease, basically.
Okay.
That's
okay,
great.
I haven't. Sorry, so since it was against poison, I wasn't thinking, but Reagan's horn can also cure disease if she adds a little bit of honey to it.
Oh, that's
Do
right.
we have
That's a
honey?
week or
That's
something
great.
like
Yes, she
Except-
has honey.
yeah.
Assuming that's
It
how
does. Oh, great.
So
Okay.
Reagan and Amar.
that. That's good. So it's more of a disease. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm sorry. What are you guys doing with the corpse?
Burning them.
Okay. I don't think your fire is big enough to do that. Like these things are bigger than man. If you toss a body on it, it's not. The amount of what you could do is you could spend more time trying to gather more fuel. It's just that it's harder to find the size of the fire that you guys want to build takes longer to collect the materials to do that. So if you're going to make a
Okay.
pyre for 3 7-foot tall beast men,
Oh, they're that big. Oh,
We can use our Chimeric Celt Warlock's abilities to.
I
Maybe
can
yeah.
I can
You have flaming sphere or something?
I have burning hands.
That could.
So
Okay.
I'll kind of get them and have them stacked next to each other,
Okay.
and I'll just incant, and then flames will shoot out of my fingertips.
Okay, give me 1 sec here. There is.
Do you have rules for whether or not that actually burns up a body?
No, but I got something
That
else.
would be cool.
This is bullshit simulation, Kev. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
right. Come on.
Why don't we have body water percentage? You know? Fucking Bush League DM. Jeez.
Well, you don't
All
need
right,
to
so-
like burn them to a crisp. You just need to kill the spores that are on them, right? So
Yeah.
do like an intense, intense autoclave.
Oh, who's messaging me?
Wonder if it's Colin.
Incoming call. Oh, was Colin
No.
gone from the call?
No,
Hold on.
Colin's here.
He dropped out
Colin
of the.
dropped out
hangout.
of the hangout.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me give
He's
him
in
the,
Roll20.
I give him the link to the call here. Boom. There we go. I don't know when I started doing that boom thing, but like I will send emails to my assistant when I'm done something and have boom. They're really irritating habit. Okay.
Oh, and there I go.
There
Yeah.
he comes.
Okay. Let's give some, the unfortunate connection issues here. Give me an opportunity to quickly find something I was looking for anyway.
Perfect.
Okay, Colin,
we
you back?
planned it that way.
Absolutely. I will take happy coincidence and explain it as a fact anytime.
Well, just me then.
All right, all right. Would someone kindly give me a D6 roll, please?
I'll do it.
Great.
5.
Oh, I need to grab one more book too. I'll be right back.
Oh, great. We got to get him to stop buying stuff.
I know, right?
Yeah. Time
It
to
always
have an
makes me feel that it
intervention.
hurts
One
us.
more rule book.
Yeah.
Well, especially because when he talks about it, then I want to buy it. So
Right. Well, that's an unfortunate side effect.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody's back now.
it's like I also play war games, and I had a friend here who was like, I would think that we only needed one copy between us, but no, we both had to get it after we saw the other.
Yeah.
Since we were both
Okay.
Yeah, it happens.
Yep.
Now, would
Kevin,
you
we
guys-
decided we got to cut you off from buying books
Yeah.
because it always comes back to haunt us.
Really? I'm actually making use of, again, it's the comprehensive equipment manual.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
Again, yeah, I love this thing. It's got
Yeah, how did you have that printed?
DriveThru RPG, print on
You did?
demand.
Okay, cool.
That is a fucking horrible resource because, it's so easy to be like, I think I
Yep.
need a print copy of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've completely avoided any of the older D&D ones so far. So at least there's that.
Yep.
Okay, would someone give me a percentile roll as well, please?
Somebody else want to do that one?
I'll do it.
Actually,
Rolling so
two
well.
people. Two people give me percentile rolls.
Okay.
See, generally, the less I press buttons, the better it is for the. I feel like Kane would be better at this.
Okay, interesting. All right. So, what you guys find is you're sort of piling these things up into an area well away from you where Malo can unleash the torrent of flames on these corpses. When you're moving the one that's near where Yason and Amar and Reagan were, you hear a clunk as something falls down, and you realize that with Yason's last stroke, not only did he carve through the creature, he also cut through some strap that was attached to this thing, like a crude but pretty effective, like a backpack type thing, or like a sling bag. And you see this kind of, and it's disgusting. Like it's slimy and greasy. And if it wasn't for the distinct sound of coins falling down, that you would have avoided opening that thing. But I think you go carefully and slit the side of it, and out from what pours out from within is a ton of gold and copper coins.
Great.
Sweet.
In addition, strapped to the outside of this and sealed in kind of like the leather, like oiled leather wraps for travel, is a sword.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
And this is
what kind of sword?
it is a, where is it here?
And how much is a ton of gold and copper?
So first off, this is a broadsword. So a thick, long blade. This though has if you the handle for one, it has a almost like a barnacled kind of look to it. And at first you think it's the maybe the mold, and you rub it, and you can see that and I'm assuming you're rubbing it with like a cloth of some kind or a scrap of fabric, and the handle itself seems as if it was grown on the shaft or on the hilt of the blade. The pommel, or what is it? The pommel or the tang? What's the thing on the bottom called?
Pommel is the thing on the bottom. The tang runs down the center of the handle.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So the pommel of this thing has a bizarre, greasy, metallic feature to it, as does the actual blade. When you pull it out, it looks like the hilt itself, or the handle or whatever. It seems as if it's just a little bit too thick. It's not going to impose any penalties or anything like that, but it seems as if it's not quite made for a human hand. And the let's see, I will let Malo and Iphigenia make a D6 roll to try and identify what the fuck this thing is.
Not bad.
Okay.
2.
Iphigenia again. Jeez.
Nice.
That's someone who's been paying attention.
Don't
in
let me-
school.
Yeah.
Don't let me roll initiative.
Right.
So what you can tell, Iphigenia, is that you remember me? I mentioned those strange otherworldly things that seem to be masters of crafting life. The things behind the blutterflies and the steerages and those things. This seems to be. You've heard of that greasy metallic metal as well, used to fabricate fantastic things like stabs that seem to just cast off bolts of lightning. Those would be the creatures that craft these things. And what this is a... Oh, who's got... does anyone have Identify?
I do not.
Identify is expensive in this one, right? It
Yeah, does
lose
the con thing.
Constitution or something absurd.
Yeah, you lose cons, like 8 con or something.
Oh, yeah, right. So I guess you can't identify what this is. What you can tell is that this is clearly some kind of enchanted or likely to be enchanted object. I'm going to write down what the things are, and then if you guys choose to identify it at some point, you can find out what you've got. Okay, hold on here.
Who can use one of these? It's definitely enchanted.
I think most of us can.
Most of them can use a sword.
I don't. I think even Raven. I think I'd have to look.
Yeah, Reagan could use it, but she.
Yeah.
She's
I am mastered in bastard swords, not in broadswords.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm scimitar.
I mean, Reagan doesn't have
I've
master.
got some right.
We could make Prey to carry it for right now.
I'm not sure why you'd want to wield a sword if you've got a hammer.
Good point.
The way you use it, I get it.
Reagan's perfectly happy with her battle axe at the moment until this thing is identified. She's not about to pick it up.
Oh yeah. Weapons.
Yeah, that's good call on Reagan's part.
Yeah. Yeah, you can use the broadsword.
Yeah, Reagan, you guys should get a point of astonishing fortune for that. That's good role playing. Okay, so what are you going to do now?
Well, we
You
want to
didn't
make sure we
answer
burn
how much
those
coin
bodies.
we actually got.
Oh, you guys aren't concerned with coin, are you? You're above such things as filthy lucre. Come on.
Well,
I'm so close to level 4.
XP.
I gotta make every coin count.
we need to remember, Kevin said a ton. That's a very
Yes.
Ton.
That's a
Yeah.
lot. That is a lot.
Ton.
So what?
If you
what
don't tell me,
find-
I'm just gonna assume.
what is
Yes.
what is a ton? 200 pounds? No, more than that.
For the
2,000
copper
pounds.
coins, there are 1,500 copper coins in here. So a whopping 15 gold pieces. Try not to spend that all in one place.
Right.
In fact, they likely will not let you spend that in one
Right.
place. Can I pay with pennies? However, you also find 500 gold pieces.
Nice.
And that sword's got to be worth something too. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we need to wrap that back up and stash it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I'll just speaking of the sword, this is something that hasn't come up before, but one of the things I think I'll let you guys do is as sort of like a downtime action. You're not gonna be able to do this while you're traveling, but I think what I'll let you do is as a downtime action between levels, you guys can switch weapons for your weapon mastery. Because that been getting locked into just one thing and being stuck with that, if particularly like the nature of the game we're playing where everything is random, I don't want you guys to be like, be beholden to either me intervening and doing that. The point at which, even as a kid, I stopped reading the Drizzt books was in the second book when everyone found a fucking magic item that was specifically perfect for them.
Right. Yeah.
And it wasn't crafted. It's just like, oh my god, how strange I found this bow. And like, nope, we're done here.
Yeah.
So to avoid doing that, like that's when and this is not a crafting game. This isn't like Pathfinder where you guys are going to go out and craft your magic items to suit your specific abilities. So I'll let you do that. Not to say that you guys need to use this particular thing, because I mean, who knows what horrible things that will do once you pick it up and wield it. But I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure it's not cursed. No.
Not cursed at all. So now who is anybody wielding this thing, or are you guys just stowing it for travel?
I think we're just storing it for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in favor of storing it. Yep.
I think we wrapped it up and let Prada carry it since she's like the
Yes.
torchbearer. Was it Porter?
Order. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also the
Cursed item bearer.
oh, nice.
Well,
All
and
right.
she's got her connection to Raven. Maybe Raven will tell her what it does.
There you go.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, let her take the con hit. Is identify a clerical spell?
Oh, I just meant roleplay wise, but
Oh.
That's
no, I
purely a
think
magician
Yeah.
and cryomancer, necromancer, pyromancer, and witch.
Yeah, okay.
excuse me.
And it is eight con points. You lose and you regain 1 per hour.
Okay, move. Okay, well, it's not like, I mean, you guys are being exposed to, things that require con
Yeah,
saves,
exactly.
like
Oh, yeah.
poison.
That's
So
right.
what's more important, figuring out what this magic item is or surviving?
The points, regular
Yeah.
one.
Okay, so you got some more loot. You got some more, and then I guess you end once you've sort of gone through the stuff that these things carried. You would guess that these things likely would have been raiders, that just based on what was stolen. The coinage is of a denomination that you don't recognize as well. This is not.
Interesting.
It's not been forged by any a city or city state or whatever that you would be familiar with.
So there are some kind of markings, but it's something we don't know about.
Yeah, and I think I don't think you need to roll for this. I think Malo and Iphigenia could tell you that because no one speaks Hyperborean, right?
No.
No.
No, okay. So then this is so but what you can recognize, you can't tell what it says. The script is Hyperborean.
Oh, interesting. Well, there's some Hyperborean script on one of the items we found, the discs, right? So we might be able to say, oh, that looks similar.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's right. I forgot you guys have those cursed discs. I mean, the discs, normal discs, completely normal discs.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, what the rest of the evening goes uneventfully, apart from the impromptu, flash pyre that you have for these things. Whew. All right. So then I guess we go to the next morning. Is anybody going hunting? So the next morning, I've got down that, let's see here. How many days of food do you guys have left? I have 7 food and 11 water. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Gormal. So, and Preda. So which 2 people are going without food today?
Or should we hold off on food for everybody?
Hold off on food and do another day of travel.
Yeah.
That seems like that's been the strategy that's sort of worked.
We get to reset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that puts you. Let's see here. I think this puts you at your 3rd day without food. Then.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
And we can go to 5, I think, is what we realized.
Yep.
Not that we're metagaming this.
No, I think we figured that out
Well,
as we traveled.
We started off not realizing just how much we needed to preserve our resources.
Yeah. Well, and that's also the that you can go that long. Now, what about I've got 0 days without water right now. You have 1 days without water right now. This will be your 2nd day without water. Oh, we lose Arlen from the call
Roll
as well.
20 is I'm still. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Roll 20 is not cooperating.
Okay. I, for one, blame the DM.
That's what it must be.
Yeah.
You got mad about all those rolls you were making.
That's right.
So Reagan can cast the Black Cloud, which I don't know if we figured out exactly how much rain that's going to provide and whether or not it would be enough to fill how many water skins.
Black Cloud. Let's see here. Let's read what it does.
Well, cut herself. Black Cloud. Sounds. Black Cloud. Sorry, I had it on here. And we're sorry.
If cast in an area of sub-freezing temperature, the precipitation will be heavy snow.
Which is not exactly what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it sub-freezing at the moment, Kev, still?
No, it's actually above 0.
Okay.
I was listening to this morning. It's 3 degrees Celsius, which I think is 37 Fahrenheit.
That's what it is
So it
there.
lasts for 10 minutes, and it would be releasing a torrent of rain that forms a cylinder showering a 30-foot diameter area. So if we have any containers other than...
So here's the upside downside to that is we lost Colin as well. Is that just roll 20 or is he? Oh, yeah, he's still in call. So
I'm still here.
the upside is that you can probably, I think you could probably fill if it's 10 minutes of holding it out in the water. That's something you could likely fill, but you're going to drench whoever is doing that.
Yep.
So even though it's above temperature, hey, your camera's working. Damn.
Just
It's
took it
gonna
out.
work sometime.
You just smash your computer on the top of it with your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I was just mashing on it.
You're applying the orthopedic surgeon approach.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, okay, so I understand. Does anybody have anything resembling like pots or... Just looking to see what I have that we could use that might hold it.
Well, so if you had a trough or something that you could set out, you could probably fill it up with water. But I think that the problem would be is that would effectively like lower your personal temperature because you'd be fucking soaked and you don't have a place to really sit and dry. That it'll leave that person potentially making cold checks. Although Yason, I mean, if you want to metagame it, Yason doesn't.
Jason's got his special resistance to
Yeah.
cold. But I don't think it matters right now because I think we've got enough water that we can go another day without water. And
Yeah.
All right.
we've
Yeah.
got another day without water, today without food, and then next day is our reset day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to go hunting?
We probably don't need to do hunting right now because we've got food, and that triggers random encounters.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking. We can hold off on that for now.
I never get to have any fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
Yeah, not like how we started this session. We wiped out our astonishing fortune pool.
That's true. Fair point. Fair point. Okay, so then let's do this here. Let's see here. First, we're going to do where's the getting lost chart?
It's lost.
It's lost. I know.
The irony.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's on the screen, Kev.
Is it on the screen?
Yeah, on the third panel on the right, on the bottom right.
Bottom right. Oh, it is awesome. Yeah, this is it's a really, really well put together screen in the sense of like it's put the specific information you need on
Yeah,
there.
totally.
Love it.
I mean, to run a sandbox game, you got everything you need right on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you guys head out. Now, what direction do you guys want to head?
East.
We're heading east to the coast.
Directly east?
Directly east.
That sounds like an excellent plan. So let's move you over here. Next map, I've done another map for our Warcraft game, and I've added a lot more things, so I can actually reveal more things because it's a lot of hexes where I'm, it's a.
Well, that seems appropriate to the actual landscape.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Oh, yeah,
Here we go, guys. 1, 2, 3.
Shut on.
Nothing
All
at
right.
all.
Who wants to make the water roll for the morning?
My
Here.
rolls have not been good today.
I will try it.
Right.
Well, yours, I was listening.
Nope. Nope. That's I rolled 100, not a D100.
Nailed it.
Another error between keyboard and chair. 56s.
Okay. So, no. So, unfortunately, the morning you spend making your way across the trackless tundra. And it's been a while since we looked at our handouts. Come here. Oh, why is this not working? Oh, because it's right there. Trackless Thule.
Yeah.
So again, we see you guys from a long shot from some drone of you guys stomping along in line. The ever increasing pile of treasure across your back, making you seem an even riper fruit ready to be plucked by some intrepid bandits.
At this rate, we'll be able to establish our own stronghold before we even get.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's funny you mentioned that, but there is remember there is a faction called the Second Sons that are that have come here specifically because there's no opportunities for them, or they don't see that they can escape their family's shadow back on Hyperborea. So, okay, so that passes. The midday comes, and you have had a relatively peaceful journey. Now, what direction are we heading now? Directly east or otherwise?
Onward. East.
Yeah.
Onward east. Bold decisions that I fully support. Let's see here. Oh, man!
Mammoths.
I am so glad that you guys did not fight those mammoths.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
same here.
You don't fight herbivores.
Okay.
Well, we fought that elk.
Well, that was for food.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's different.
And fighting it was a chance to use our wrestling skills.
Yes, we did. Definitely got our grappling on.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah, that was really fucking cool. Making use of dungeon grappling was pretty great. All right, so let's see here. All right. So let's see. We'll make the reveal first here. Bum, 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 bum.
Mm-hmm.
Another several set of miles of trackless desert or trackless tundra. Have you guys looked and see how fast ships travel? Just out of curiosity, because they move pretty fucking quick.
My understanding is they just sink.
Yeah, in Kevin's game, they just
Good point.
in Kevin's game they sink.
Yeah. I don't know what a boat did to you as a kid, Kev, but stop taking it out on us. Okay, so you guys are making your way along, and who is going to be taking on the awesome responsibility of rolling for surprise for the party?
Oh God, not me.
Probably
Yeah, I'm
Colin,
rolling
right?
one,
Because
so-
you were doing it last time, right?
I can roll. I can roll.
Okay.
I've got to press buttons.
So D6.
Booyaka!
Ooh, nice. All right.
Yeah,
So
but
who is
saving
in
it
the
up, I
lead?
was-
Do we think?
In the lead of the party.
Probably
Probably
Kane,
Jason.
Mallow, or Yason.
Yeah.
And I would think Yason he's ready to get to Tuleborg.
Okay.
Yeah, I would at least be in the second rank.
Okay. So Yasin, you're up front, and what you see is across the sort of rolling bits at a distance. Let's see here. You guys can see for quite some distance here. And now that ice fog has cleared. Okay. Let me roll for surprise for them, actually. Okay. So what you come across? Oh my God, it's a dog.
I know.
More undead dogs.
Run.
Undead hounds.
What you see is at first you think that you look and it appears as if it's mounted figures because they're moving along at kind of a loping rate, but they're not riding horses. They seem to be riding some kind of, honestly, you would think it's like a feral cat of some kind.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all He-Man references today, guys. It's battle.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. That's all I can think of.
So no, you and there is one sec here. Yeah, you're right. It's dangerous having so many books at hand.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, let's throw this in. Oh, interesting. That is terribly interesting. So there are 7 of these riders. And they're about 140 yards away from you. So not terribly far when you first spot them, but they spot you as well too. Now, at first, again, you see them kind of loping along like a large, predator cat in or a great cat in in pursuit of prey. But then they sort of slow to a trot, and and you look over, and as your eyes kind of adjust, and you realize these 7 things, they are not riding beasts. They have the lower bodies of enormous cats, which seamlessly grow up into a furred and muscled humanoid body. Their heads have these massive frayed manes that go up and fold back and go back. They're wearing crude armor, and all of them have a brace of javelins or spears of some kind on their backs. And these things turn and look over at you, and you can even at 140 yards away, you can tell that they have only the crudest approximation of a man's face, that it has taken on bestial characteristics, big, thick furred eyebrows that stretch it, like sort of like fray out from its their sort of beetled brow, yellowed eyes set against kind of like a brownish or amber iris. And the faces are almost, like the split lip kind of thing that you see on great cats. And all of them kind of turn, and you can hear they speak to each other in this kind of low growl that sounds like a mighty jungle cats. Amar, the closest you can think of is the massive feral tigers of your homeland. So they're now, none of you guys have ever seen anything like this before.
Yeah, I just glance around at the group as if to sort of take in whether there's any recognition amongst my companions, as if to say, I don't know what this is. Does it look like anybody else does? And
Jason is going to roar at them.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. So then, what is Jason's charisma?
Not great.
Yeah.
It is a 12,
12.
which is even.
It's not
12 is
bad. It's
flat.
not bad.
No, it's not bad. You know what? It's hilarious too. Is that we with the way we made characters for this too, with everyone having an 18 and no one having really like bad. Can you imagine playing it with rolled characteristics?
Oh my god. No.
Okay, so let's see here. Where is my reaction table on here? Let's let the dice do the talking here.
Yep. It's definitely on the screen.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, bottom right.
Bottom right.
Yeah. Jeff Talanian, you make an awesome screen.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's great.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you step forward and let out a mighty, what is it? Do you say something, or is it just a feral roar?
Just a feral roar. No words, just roar.
Okay.
And he took himself out of the action there.
Oh,
Oh, that's amazing.
The reverberations of his roar. Just
From
give
the
it
back
the very
of-
interwebs.
And then right
Disappears.
the other way.
Oh, that's
Okay.
funny stuff.
but yes, like that.
Like that. Well, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So this echoes out across the
Good job, Mr. Non-Squishy.
yeah. And you know what, guys? I see we're at our halfway point. Why don't we take our very brief break right now, hit the washroom, refresh beverages, and then we'll come back and see what these things or how these things respond.
Okie dokie.
Cool.
All right.
Hey, Grayson.
Okay.
How's your Badlands going, Carl?
Oh, it's actually really cool. I have two groups, like Broken Lands East and Broken Lands
Oh,
West.
Broken Lands,
Yeah. But they are Badlands. I mean, the whole area is a big Badland, big. So
cool.
yeah, it's I like it because much like this game, it's things happen because of random rolls. So even from random encounters to reaction rolls on creatures that they encounter. So,
That's honestly one of my favorite things about the OSR games is the morale, the random reactions, and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you think this style of play is gaining in popularity, or is it always kind of been there and I'm just getting more aware of it? Or
I don't.
I mean, I think my feeling is that it went out of style for a little while. I mean, I always enjoyed this style of play, which is how I first played.
Right.
But when 3.5 third edition came out is when it sort of started to diminish. And then once 3.5 was out and people were feeling like it was kind of complicated or more complicated than they liked, there was a segment of people who started doing OSR stuff, I would say, in early 2000s.
Yeah,
so
around
the time of was it not Grognardia? What was the guy who wrote Dwimmermount?
Yes,
that's Grognardia. James.
Grognardia,
That's Grognardia.
That blog was the one that really got me thinking. And then it was Hobbs that brought me in, actually, in a long way of playing in a Shadow of the Demon Lord game with Hobbs is what got me looking at the OSR games. And I don't know whether it's more popular, just that I'm getting to know more people who enjoy that particular type of play.
Yeah, that's what.
Even in 5e, it's coming back, right? So I would say that the Tomb of Annihilation, you could totally throw out the story hook and make it a big hex crawl, right? So
it was big
with Goodman Games putting out Isle of Dread, right? The 5e Isle of Dread, which is really cool. I mean, for the essays alone, it's really neat. So and you can run it. You can, It's a fantastic book. Yeah, I'm waiting. I can't wait till their expedition, right? So
yeah, that's a great adventure.
Yeah, how's Georgia? Yeah, how's fatherhood treating you?
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. It's great. No, it's great. It's great. He's a chill kid, so we're very lucky so far. Yeah.
You're not selling it, George. You're not selling it.
No, it's true. It really is. It really is. The funny thing is,
from a place of experience.
Well, the funny thing is, every single time we play is when the one moment when he decides he's gonna wail.
Yeah.
So,
He just wanted to join the fun.
It's true.
Yeah,
I'm like riding my mute
Raising
button.
them to play young.
It doesn't. It doesn't change when they get older, because when my son's back home with his mom for the summer to work, but when he's out here, we would have evening games where he'd be playing online playing Apex Legends with his cousin online. So you'd hear him screaming at the TV over the stream.
Well, one thing that's actually really cool saying to my wife is that eventually in 8, 9, 10 years from now, when he can go on YouTube, he'd go back and hear himself screaming.
Yeah, that's cool
on this stream.
Nice.
Well, and he can see Dad, 10 years ago.
That's true.
Too,
well,
right?
to his great horror, I'm sure.
Sorry, I'm watching the rather big spider on the ceiling crawling my way, so
That's a problem.
I failed my surprise check.
Yeah, it's really well. I mean, it's like any standard RPG. That is a low-level encounter you would run into. So
right.
Okay, so let's get back to these things.
Right.
So what? These things are about 140 yards away right now. You roared at them, Jason, and they sort of, are sort of pacing back and forth, and then one kind of stands forward and then lets out this massive roar. I can't do a lion roar without fucking shattering my throat. But that's what you hear is this massive feral roar. And while for you guys, Jason's roar was feral and impressive and whatnot and bestial, this is something that is truly, linked to its beast, it's sinister, not sinister. It's I don't want to use the word feral again. I need to have a thesaurus open. It's animalistic
primeval
roots.
Yeah,
Primeval. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my hand on Jason's shoulder there, just like a steady simmer down type of pat on the shoulder, and just like put my arm up in the sort of universal kind of greeting come recognition sign that just kind of maybe you might want to remain where you are. We're kind of remaining where we are currently.
Okay. What is your charisma?
13.
13. Okay. Oh, it's actually, there is a modifier.
Yeah,
you get a +1.
I love that about this game as well too. The standardized bonuses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're all on panel 1 of the.
Yeah, that's actually what I was looking at when I was finding the thing. I love this DM screen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you put your arms up, and what happens is the lead one who came kind of moved forward. It stalks a little further forward to you, and it turns and says something to the others, and 2 of them. So there's 7 in total. 3 of them are, the big one is there, and then there's 2 other ones that are flanking beside him. They move about another 10 yards forward, and then the others sort of lope off, 2 in one direction, 2 in another direction, clearly flanking you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're clearly intelligent.
Yeah. What do you guys do?
Who does have the highest charisma?
Yeah, who has the best charisma here?
Quick, where's our bard? Oh.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm going to guess no one's higher than a 13.
What about Praetor? What do you reckon she is?
Charisma? Yeah, no, 13.
Let's hear.
Preda is 12 charisma.
Yeah. So we just have a +1 bonus, basically.
So +1 is the best we're going to get. Although,
but I mean, an English accent is always really cool. So I think Colin should be the spokesperson.
Well, I was going to say, if it comes to a fight, Jason's rage imposes a -2 morale penalty to them, and since these are clearly intelligent creatures, I think they're going to have to make a morale test if we can kill off 1 or 2 of them.
Okay.
Let's not try to get into a fight. I mean,
let's see
what if they get? I mean, strength.
You want to
numbers,
live dangerously, won't you?
I want to live.
Yeah.
I really like that backup character you got in mind.
That's right.
Oh yeah, Sagramore is going to be awesome.
Well, maybe since you're having 3 people go up, I suggest maybe Malo, the Hammer, and
The hammer.
Kane the Hammer and Iason go and talk to these 3, and then
Parlay?
the rest of us will.
Are we sure we
The
want
rest
to
of us
do
will spread out in a similar formation, like we know what we're doing.
Okay.
Or we could form square and prepare to take a charge from the cavalry.
Well, it looks like they want to talk. Right? They're setting 3 up. They're not charging us right away. They could.
Well, they're flanking.
Probably.
They're pulling some Zulu horns of the buffalo tactic.
I would put that 3 of us. Yeah, Horns of the Buffalo.
I'm gonna rewatch that that film this afternoon.
It's so good. Zulu is so much fun.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a good series. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think what we should do, the big 3 up front, and then everybody else kind of behind us in a tight formation, staying together. If they want to parley, they can parley with all of us.
That sounds good.
Okay. Well, Iphigenia is I'm gonna cast my chill touch just in case.
Does anybody have any secondary skills dealing with trade or anything like that?
No.
No.
I'm a messenger.
Okay. So then you would know that if you are choosing to, when meeting a strange group, to immediately adopt a tactical kind of position, then they're going to take the message that that's the only thing you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. which I don't think we're interested.
Okay.
I'm not interested.
Out
in
of
that.
character,
Yeah.
I'm okay with doing something else. In character, Jason is still thinking,
Right.
let's get ready to fight.
No, but I mean,
Yeah,
if he's
mostly
if he
because
was
then-
a messenger, like he would.
No,
your
no,
character
no. He
would know that
knows.
as well.
He knows that we don't need to fight. He's just
Yeah.
he's just thinking these things we need to get ready to fight them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment based on the fact that they just sent out their flanking skirmishers, like, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
So what are you guys doing then?
well, Reagan's perfectly happy to start planting arrows in front of her, but not actually pulling her bow.
Yeah, and Iphigenia, if this is what we're going to adopt, a defensive formation, Iphigenia is going to cast Chill Touch. And
I'll rock
ready.
up. I'll rock up on my own. They don't scare me, these fools.
Yeah, I'll go with Kane, and I'll keep my scimitar sheathed. I'll be carrying no weapons.
Okay.
Yeah, man. The Khmeri Celts know how this stuff's done.
That's right.
Okay. So how close? They are currently about 100 yards away. How far do you want to walk away from your allies and towards them?
What do you think, Colin?
I reckon we just halve that distance, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
As if to
Sounds-
say you can come and meet us in the middle ground
Yeah.
here if you want to do
Mhm.
some parlaying.
I
Okay.
like it.
So you've got your Molly. Your hands are empty. Kane, what are you just like holding the hammer down, not in a aggressive posture? Or?
Oh yeah, no, I just like, you know, walking along with it, almost like a walking stick, just kind of like swinging it nonchalantly.
Okay. So let me.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So as you do that, the biggest one that's sort of in the lead there, the two of them, you cover the distance, and two of them have now, or the two on one side, two on the other have now effectively like triangulated around you guys. And they haven't moved in. Those ones are still about 110 yards away. The big one with the two ones behind it, it kind of snorts and looks back at one of its allies, and then it moves forward to a distance of about 25 yards away from you. And it, it's going up, and it's a lot taller than you guys. Like this thing is probably about, it's about 8 feet tall, maybe 7.5 feet tall at the peak. And it, sort of lords over you guys looking down. Its mane is, full and blowing in the tundra. It's not so the coloring of this thing is kind of like a tawny grayish brown. So it's got the coloration you would expect from sort of late or early spring kind of coloring, like as if it's had winter coloring that was changing over to spring. There's some mottled spots around this, and this one has the mane itself is all just pure white. Some of the other ones have different, it's darker or like a darker gray or dirty gray kind of color. Some of them have, you can see there's braids in their manes as well, too, of the two. And those are pretty vicious looking spears that they're carrying in their hands as well. And the one kind of steps forward a bit, and it fixes. It's not staying in one place. It moves up to about 25 yards away from the three of you or two of you, and then it starts pacing, sort of back and forth in small loops of about maybe like 6-7 feet, pawing down, but still like keeping its eyes trained on you, almost waiting for you to react first.
This is the white-haired one?
The white-haired
Okay.
one, yeah.
Okay.
So they've not got any bows or anything.
No, but they do have each of them has a brace of javelins, though.
Okay.
I'm going to follow your lead.
I'm
Kane.
gonna put both my arms up, like displaying my hands, like turning them like this, showing my hands are empty. I'll have a sort of a smile to my face without looking overly stupid.
So as you do that, this thing kind of it snarls. You can see its teeth are all like jagged, like a cat's or a predator's tooth, not a man's teeth. But it sort of snarls and then it goes back to normal, pacing back and forth.
And then I'm gonna we're at 25 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, with my hands up, I'm gonna just walk up a bit closer so I don't have to be shouting.
Okay. So you are about, we'll say about 15 yards away when this thing kind of it snarls. And you're
Stop there. I'm taking that's close enough.
Yeah, it roars and you can hear it rumbling from deep in its chest, and it kind of follows out. All of you back in the circle kind of thing are all kind of get your weapons grip a little tighter on them, getting ready. This thing looks down at you, and Kane, do you speak? Sorry, Kane and Malo are the only two who have walked out, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Do either of you guys speak Old Norse?
Nope.
So this thing says something to you in a very bestial voice, but it says something that in a language you don't quite understand, but it doesn't sound like it is comfortable on its tongue.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a question to me. That does distinctly question-ish.
I said it can. It may speak another language. It doesn't sound like this is its usual tongue.
No. Could we? We could try a bit of Celtic on it.
Well, and if you can recognize that it's Old Norse,
I know that you speak it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if we should get you yet.
You actually might. Its voice is so loud, and it's only 100 yards that it's away. So I think you probably could hear, if you can understand Old Norse. It says fight, flee, or parlay.
So Jason is gonna sort of hop up and roar "Parley" as loud as he can.
Looks back at you.
I look back at Jason and I'm like,
sort of jogging up to the group.
Okay, so you come running up, and the two behind it kind of are both kind of growling and presenting as you make your way up. You're now up with Kane, Malo, and this thing.
What did it say, Jason?
It wants to talk, apparently. And it can talk to me.
Great.
Anything you want me to tell it?
Well, I was wondering if we could make some kind of offering. I would have definitely offered some food, but we ain't really up on the food.
We've got copper.
Okay. I'm gonna say in Old Norse, we got a shitload of shiny coins. You want any?
So it kind of looks down at you. Where did you get those coins?
Oh, from all over the place. It's been a long story.
You offer a ransom for your lives. He snarls, and the ones behind it kind of.
No, tell him it's a peace offering. It's a goodwill gesture.
Consider it a goodwill gesture, because between you and me, I wouldn't fuck with us.
It growls.
Yeah, I'm translating it back to you guys.
Okay, go.
Tiny things you taste poor. A waste of meat you are. Where did you get these coins?
Tell him about
do you like coins? That's good.
It roars at you. Can you give me a... Let's see here. Yeah, I think you're fearless, aren't you?
I am fearless.
No, do you have a trait that gives you fearless or not?
I know that a trait that gives me fearless.
I can't remember if you do or not. The cataphract does, but...
Cataphracts and paladins.
Okay.
I do not have a trait that gives me fearless, although I have indomitable will, which gives me a bonus on saving throws.
Yeah, give me a save, please, against... Where am I here? Where are my saves on the sheet here?
I see death, transform, device, avoidance, sorcery, other.
Give me. I think sorcery.
Sorcery.
No, it's not sorcery. It would be. So I'm looking on the DM screen trying to see if it's here. I think
I don't think there is one on the DM screen.
Oh, that's just bullshit. Why can't I have my Wi-Fi on my plane?
This thing sucks.
Hold on here. All right, saves.
You look on the character sheet.
Excuse me.
All right. Okay. Here we go. This is when things go south. You know what? Just give me a. You know what? Just what's your wisdom score?
Wisdom is 9.
Is not a very good.
Yeah.
Give me a D6 roll then, please.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys have not necessarily have not seen Jason really break or stagger at all in the time you've known him, but he does take a stutter step back at that roar. Kind of this thing says, "Yeah, you." You were in Rockclaw lands.
Rockclaw?
You are on our territory. Small thing.
Well,
You would show.
we're trying to get to Tuleborg, so we're not here intentionally.
Where? And he roars again. Where did you get the coins?
I would just
Well, just tell him we was attacked by those minging raider things.
You guys can tell that, like, he's you're obviously not understanding, but things are getting heated between these two things, between the two.
Well, and I'm translating back at least the gist of what I'm saying and what he's saying. Okay, so we got some coins from some dead raiders we found. We got some coins from dead raiders we killed.
What raiders?
I don't know. They're weird fungus things.
Orange, furry things. They're bound to be their enemies.
Furry orange vormis.
He kind of looks back at the at his allies and looks back at you. Vormis.
Yes.
And it's a language. I mean, they're not using the word Vormis. There's probably some Old Norse, like Skraelings, or that's the only Old Norse word I know. So let's get trotting it out each time. But it's nothing like
Skraelings.
that. Yeah. So the he says this. Where did you find them?
Back behind us.
To the west.
to the west. Yeah.
Yeah,
When?
out west. They attacked us last night.
2 days ago, wasn't it?
No,
was it-
last night.
Or was
Yeah.
it last night?
Only this is the end of the first day of travel.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They attacked you.
Yeah, it
Show.
wasn't very smart of them.
Show us
Where they attacked?
the coins.
Oh, yeah, they're
His
old
allies
coins,
going to
aren't
roar
they?
as well too.
Yeah, and they'll have those markings on them. So
So, do I have the coins on me, or are they on somebody else?
I think you guys made Preda carry everything.
Oh, right, we're making
Yeah,
Prey to carry it.
that's right.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, hold right here. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna jog back to Preda. Say, Preda, give me all the copper coins.
No tricks, Northman.
no tricks. Keep our hands up.
Oh,
In the
in
chat,
another
right?
language, I'm gonna say to the guys, do you want me to show them the gold or just the copper?
Just the
Copper.
copper.
Okay,
Now.
that's what I thought. Preda, give me all the copper coins.
Was that in the
Get a
chat,
bag
right?
of copper coins. I got 1,500 copper. I'm gonna jog back.
Okay.
I'm gonna set them down, set this bag on the ground, and there's coins spilling out of it because it's so many.
Okay. So he looks down, and with this massive spear of his, he sort of pokes at it and prods through. He waits for you to back up, and the other two sort of move forward as well. They look down at it, and they look up at you. You slew what carried this.
I Yeah, we slew him.
You are. Where do you travel to?
To Thule.
Where is your destination?
We're trying to go get drunk and have lots of, carousing, fun with prostitutes and alcohol.
Why are you here?
We're going to Vegas.
Why are you in the Rockclaw land?
Because we're trying to get to Tuleborg. Like I said.
We're just.
Why are
alcohol
you
and
here?
prostitutes. Hey, motherfucker, back up. I could go into a rage anytime.
I know. That's what I
He's
keep
not
thinking.
lying.
Guys,
How
that's,
can we have this
Is that
man as
it?
the face?
Yeah.
How can we have the berserker as a
We
face
can't.
man to this?
That's right.
What's going on?
Who should follow that? Oh, I don't know. The big picture.
this thing
he's the only one
stalks
who
right
speaks
up
the
to
lingo.
you and is staring right down at you. Why are you in these lands?
We're
Like I
shipwrecked.
said, we got shipwrecked. We're trying to get to Tuleborg.
He looks at you. You're lost.
No
Well,
shit.
not that lost.
But we're not where we should be.
He bats you with his with one of his paws, and you kind of stagger back. He says,
Oh,
"You have spirits, small one."
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, if only you knew how much spirit he had.
I know, right?
Mhm.
He looks you all
Exactly.
over. You are lean. When did you eat
Wow.
last?
3 days ago?
Lost, little man. He turns around and roars something in another language to the other things. They kind of it's more of a dog sound than a lion
Greg
sound.
really wants to cast the
Looks
giant,
back
Jason.
and he looks down at you and he says, "I am Strongwalker of the Rock Claw. Who are you, little man?
I'm
With such spirit."
Jason. I'm a berserker and a warrior poet.
Warrior poet. You speak the language of those from the city
Aye, that's where we're trying to get.
and lost on a ship.
Lost on a
This is
ship.
why. The elders say, keep all paws on land. Water only brings foolish danger.
Oh, they must have played with Kevin too.
He is a cruel and merciless God.
The god of ships, Kevin.
Yes.
The god of shipwrecks.
So unfortunately, can you speak Old Norse? Reagan?
Me? I don't believe so. No, she's
It's okay. I'm working him pretty good.
She's from
We're seeing eye to eye
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
just-
you're seeing
that's all I'm
more
gonna-
like Ida nipple, maybe. But-
That works.
so
Ida
he says,
that was an out of character comment. Sorry.
okay. So he looks down and says, Dan, you cannot have tiny things go hungry on the Rockclaw lands. You will have the hospitality of the Rockclaw.
Mhm.
Oh, thanks,
Come.
bud.
He turns and he roars at the guys, and the two that the sort of the two groups that were flanking you guys, they sort of lower the javelins that they had drawn and come trotting up towards you guys and are kind of looking you all up and down as they walk around you. There still is definitely like a predatorial kind of hierarchical stuff that's going on with them,
Yeah.
but Strongwalker seems to have taken to you at least. So what he says is, so what you find out from him is that first off, I mean his tribe is not far away, or his pride, I suppose, is not far away. So he will take you to the Rockclaw Pride, and he tells you that there's going to be food, drink, and we will tell each other tales.
Glorious.
So you guys, if you all go along with this plan, it is about an hour of further travel across the tundra with these guys. What he tells you, Jason, is that those things that you encountered are like I'm assuming there's a bit of back and forth, and you tell them how many that you encountered. That's only some of
Exaggerate.
the total amount of the beastmen. There are bands of those things that rove across these areas and make, especially in the spring when they're starving, they make their raids in and try and steal stuff from the rock claw when they're at their weakest. Mm-hmm. And while they were out hunting, while there was that unseasonable storm that hit, that kept the hunters from getting back, and during their absence, that's when these things hit. And it sounds like you made off with some of them, but there were others that made off with other. They killed a number of their warriors, and they made off with several of their people as well. Mm. And the Vormis aren't like cannibals. They're probably been forced into some kind of slavery or something like that, or gladiatorial, sport or whatnot. But if you've killed them, those were riches plundered, from some of our brave warriors who braved some of the ruins that populate this land. So you get back, and there is a group. Their chieftain as well. His name is Clawbinder.
So these guys basically go adventuring as well. Then these guys.
Some of them, they, the young. Set out from the pride to, sometimes to prove themselves. They also have, there's Earthweaver is the kind of like local shaman, and some of them on spirit journeys will go out and travel as well. We have some dealings with the people of the city, but the old tales tell of times back when the cities were great. And other cities, and we traded with them as well. They've been in these lands for the time immemorial.
So I'm going to say to Jason, like this shaman guy. I wonder if he knows what's going on with this kind of curse that's on the land. If he understands this malevolence.
What are gender roles like in this tribe?
There are. Well, the thing is, when you come up, I was just checking to see how many there are. So this particular pride has, when you go in, has, in addition to the 7 that you guys encountered, there's another 15 males. But there are only 4 females that you can see. And the females have, obviously they've got the humanoid upper characteristics. And they've also got they don't have a mane, whereas the men have the big flaring mane. The women do not. They seem to be. You can see there are I think they're probably split along gender role or gender lines. So the men are the warriors and the gatherers and stuff like that, and the women are more the at least the ones you're seeing here. They're the ones who stay at home. And give me a second to see if there are any. Oof. And there are 9 young here as well too. So there are 9 like cubs that are making their way along, and though they seem to be under the care of the 4 remaining female. They say that at least they were before there was about equal numbers of males and females, but after this raid by the Beastmen, when they took them. They left only, and the reason the others were left is those 4 females fled and hid, while the others were attacked. When you guys come in, you can see they're all around the fire, and they have a big massive fire that's built as well. There's kind of like a hide built kind of yurt type thing that sort of makes up the main structure in there. And within that is where the entire pride seems to make its den. And as you guys go in as well, Strongwalker will introduce you to the or present you, I suppose, to the chieftain, or the I guess chieftain.
Chieftain, yeah, Clawbinder.
Clawbinder. Okay, so when you go in, what you see, Clawbinder is a you can kind of tell him right away because he's got the much more detailed kind of accoutrements. He's got this same kind of like bone armor with some bits of clearly like human fabricated stuff on him. There's he's got bracers on that have like the same accents and the same what would you call them? Same design elements that you saw on those coins and that you saw on those discs as well. He also has a massive halberd with a clearly like a well crafted shaft, not like the crude kind of the crude materials that the rest of their stuff seems to be made out of, or relatively speaking, crude. And then the end of the shaft has this, this massive blade on the end with a bunch of unusual markings of the same thing, the same kind of Hyperborean script. And he kind of, with a great flourish comes out. His hair is also white, but shot through with sort of flecks of black. There's bits of gold that's been woven into his hair as well, too. And he's got this massive kind of bushy beard in addition to his mane as well. It grows right down into this huge flared white mane. His fur is a dull kind of like almost steel gray, or I guess a slate gray more. And his eyes are likewise that amber with the what do you call it? The kind of yellow centers. Next to him is someone who looks like they've got probably almost pure white fur. They're covered in all sorts of like gewgaws and beads and things like that, and a mixture of different scraps of Norse culture, of Hyperborean elements, carrying a fairly large staff that's got a bunch of things kind of bolted onto it, like they've taken a bunch of it's almost like a charm bracelet but made into a giant staff itself that kind of rattles as it moves along. The face itself has a stylized, there's black like soot that's been worked onto the face, and it's got it's effectively kind of like making like a skull type design on it, right down so that the whole bottom part of this man's or the male face is covered in black. The hair is kind of woven, or the mane is woven into these series of braids, and the braids seem to be intertwined, so like it's white then white then black, kind of wound in together going back. And this thing's eyes are a brilliant crystal blue as opposed to the rest of the tribe. And this thing moves forward, and as you're going up towards them, Strongwalker tells you that this is the chief Clawbinder and Earthweaver, the shaman. So he goes up and towards you guys, and the whole pride is sort of all pacing around. The cubs in particular are interested in what what's going on with you guys, and you can smell there's the scent of a massive of meat cooking. Savory meat cooking, and you can see over this spit there what looks like the carcass of an aurochs, like a giant primeval ox that is being slowly turned over on a spit. And this thing, the chieftain and an Earthbinder walk up towards you, and you hear the rattle of Earthbinder's staff, and it's unnerving. The way that Earthbinder is kind of looking at you guys is the way that Iphigenia looks at you guys sometimes.
Oh no!
Like as if the
oh no!
Yeah. Am I correct, Carl, in thinking that Iphigenia, like knowing what her specialty is, she sees beyond this world? So she sees, I guess, her colleagues as the ephemeral things that they are. They're going to spend so much more time.
Especially, I think she's from that flying island, right? So the anti-New Amazonia, definitely sees things differently.
Yeah. So it's yeah. So this thing stalks forward, and the Strongwalker stops and kind of roars something out, and the whole tribe kind of all roars as well too. And the only indication or response you get from the chief, from Clawbinder, is that he stalks forward, and there's this low rumbling growl, and you can hear, like, as he gets in close to you guys, it's the same way, like, you know when, like, some douchebag has their big truck idling and you can feel the reverberation in your chest?
Yeah.
That's what you can feel, is just like as he growls.
Classic.
Steps
Like
forward
a
and looks
big
down at
bass
you.
speaker.
And what do you guys say?
I'm gonna just like nod, like lower my head and kind of go into a sort of respectful mode.
Here.
I'm gonna pipe up in Old Norse. Hey man, I'm Jason. This is Mallow and Kane and some other people. We're your buddy Strongwalker brought us back here for food and drink and storytelling.
So Reagan is, she's kind of back from the rest of them, and she doesn't speak the languages. She's been told, I'm assuming, that Earth, what was his name?
Earthweaver.
Earthweaver. It was a shaman, and so she just curious if he knows anything about the rune graving or would recognize it. She just kind of pulls out one of her runes and is just kind of holding
Oh,
it.
I thought Earthweaver was female. Okay.
Or sorry, Earthweaver is female. Sorry.
No, Earthweaver's
No.
male.
Yeah.
No, because there's only a handful of
Oh,
females
that's
left.
right.
Yeah.
No.
So she's
Much
she's
weird.
not actually trying to get his attention with it, but just if he happens to notice it, there. So
Yeah, you can feel that Earthweaver is sort of studying the whole lot of you guys and taking in a lot, whereas whoever is walking, I think Jason was the one who stepped forward. So he looks down at you, and the chieftain says, in kind of a halting common, "The trade tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Do you speak it?"
Yeah, we speak it.
I understand that.
Yes.
Indeed.
You were lost on our lands.
Yes, seems so. We did not mean to intrude upon your territory. We thank you for your hospitality and bringing us here and feeding us. We've been having a very difficult journey.
It seems the rock claw are not ones to leave those hungry in the wastes without. Not when there is no purpose for it.
Most honorable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Truly,
hear
your people have not forgotten the laws of hospitality that bind all civilized folk.
he kind of growls, civilized.
Mm-hmm.
Like us, baby.
Civilization. You can hide behind your walls, starving and hoarding your gold.
Oh, is that what Tuleborg people do?
That seems to be their interest. Strongwalker tells me that is your destination.
Yeah, that's where we're trying to get.
And you were traveling on the Great Water.
Yeah, so we were on a ship, and then the ship had some type of shipwreck thing, and then we were stuck, and then we went into this cave and we killed a bunch of spiders, and then we got out of the cave eventually because we almost died to the spiders, and then we were going along and one of our buddies got killed, and that was really sad, and we made a cairn for him, and I said a poem, and then now we're here and we're trying to get to Tuleborg so that we can get drunk and get laid and have lots of fun and just generally, carouse the shit out of the place.
He looks over at Strongwalker and looks back at you. I was told you would tell stories.
Oh, hell yeah. I love telling stories.
Well,
Lay the poetry on him, yo.
you will be told. You will enjoy our hospitality, and you may sleep in our shelter. You're not far.
Sorry, go.
2 days northwest. 2 days northeast lies your destination.
Yeah,
We will not. Though our numbers are depleted, so we will escort you to the edge of our lands. But that is the best we have to offer. We have suffered of late.
Seems like there's suffering to go around.
How do we know do we know they're female? I know you told us their females are missing. Who was that who told us?
That was Strongheart. Or Strongwalker.
Yes, it's sad news that these raiders have taken your kin. I understand this type of loss. Have you a plan to strike back?
We would, and we have been ranging trying to find them, but our numbers are depleted. They killed many of our warriors when they struck. They have they have taken up an abandoned fort of your kind that and use that as a fortification. But it is outside our lands, and with our numbers depleted and the blight coming in this season, did you tell them about did you tell Strongheart about the mold?
Well, I was just about to tell this guy about the mold, actually. Tell him that they're afflicted. The things we killed were moldy and they didn't seem in their right spirits, kind of thing.
The blight comes upon us at this season. And he kind of gestures to Earthweaver. The prayers, so the blessings of the spirits keep us safe, but others not prepared. See that none of you, and he kind of looks at Earthweaver, and Earthweaver sort of, shakes his head. None of you have been afflicted with this. You escaped it. But those...
Being careful.
The raiders split up. The beastmen are cruel but clever, and they broke up into bands to make it difficult for us to track. It seems that you found some of them, or rather the blight found some, and then you found them. But our females and some of our young and the great treasures of our pride were taken. The winter was a hard one and required us to already spread our numbers thin. To spread them further would invite further misfortune on us.
If I pull out Nude's map, can I say, can you mark on this about where the fort is?
He looks down at it and says, where did you... I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to decide if he's not going to be... Normally, without exposure to other cultures, they wouldn't have a frame of reference for what a map is.
Okay.
Right? But I think that because he's been around people for so long, I think Earthweaver will know. I don't want to play the stereotype and just be like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
But I think Earthweaver, that he sort of gets forward. And his claw and his hands, the hands of these things they're big and they're furred, and they've got kind of that not dew claw, but that sort of feline thing where they can extend claws out. That is not the case with Earthbinder. Earthbinder's claws go out like some kind of raptor almost, where they're and he steps forward And he gestures on the map. Here. 2 days travel to the northwest. That lies their fort. Why? And those big crystal eyes are sort of studying you, and it's got almost that kind of like trying to hypnotize you look that cats get sometimes, where they just stare, and there's not really an expression on the face. It just kind of, that's what it's doing.
A searching.
Yeah. That's what Earthbinder is.
A probing stare.
Or Earthweaver is doing.
Well, I mean, you guys could use help to get shit back, right?
You would help.
Well, we might after we spend a couple
help.
days, shit-faced in Tuleborg.
Yeah, well,
the
way I see
How
it,
far is Tuleborg?
Tuleborg's
Couple
2 days.
2 days. The way I see it, they've helped us. Kane has a debt of honor to repay.
And Jason just likes these guys.
Yeah, man, I'm quite down with these chaps.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
My ethos is to help those in need. So
Yeah. And I understand about losing family, so.
Yeah.
Reagan,
Plus, they're cool lion people.
Yeah.
True.
How dope is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
pretty
And,
much.
And they have good names.
We want to get that reputation going as like badass adventurers as well, man.
True.
When we rock up in Tuleborg, we want to be
We'll run that
the
joint.
shit, man.
Yeah.
Reagan at this point steps up a little bit closer and says, basically, I will help as I can. And what we may be able to do to immediately repay you. Are there any injured in your camp?
There's probably one left, because I think that most of them either they were killed or carried off in the raid. But there's probably someone who's got some kind of illness or something like that, like a cub or two that have nasty coughs.
Cub. Okay, so she was thinking her mead, but for her ale. She says, I will share a drink with you and any of your injured. And it should make them feel better as well.
And you see Earthweaver sort of looks at you. Runes.
She pulls out the rune. Well, actually, she doesn't. The rune itself doesn't. She doesn't have a rune for that, but she realizes she's still holding the one that is enlargement in her hand, and she just kind of displays it to him. This would make that one, and she points to Jason, a non-squishy member of our group, probably close to as big as that one. She points to the original. What was his name?
Strongwalker?
Strongwalker.
Okay.
Strongwalker.
Yeah. Then they could slap each other, and each one could knock the other one over.
You work the eternal words.
She pauses, and she thinks that's as good of a name as any for them.
And again, still those eerie blue eyes are still studying you with that weird stylized skull face. Then, so you guys were having that sort of back and forth. Were you doing that in front of Clawbinder or Chief Clawbinder?
Of course.
Okay. So he says, so you would help. You would help the Rock Claw.
Yes, we would help. Yeah.
Yes.
He growls. Though this time it's not the unnerving. It's almost like a giant scary purr. Whereas, I can't do a purr, apparently. What are you clearing your throat, Kev? So yeah, so it
does not reach out to scritch his chin.
yeah. So it
Scratch
growls.
behind his ears.
He looks down at you and says, "Then let us talk."
I'll put my hand out. I'll put my hand out to him to shake his hand.
So he stalks forward, looks down at you. He puts his big old hand down and takes yours, and it's like a child's hand. Well, he's not so oversized, but you can picture like, I'm like Andre the Giant size, hand just meets around you, and he shakes it, and he does it sort of in this weird, like, I think what he does, is he'll clasp your upper arm.
Yeah.
Right, and that kind of like,
do the warrior thing.
Yeah, totally. And he growls and says, "First we feast." So
yeah.
Nice. All right,
Yeah.
so you guys have an amazing
mouth
evening.
is watering.
Yeah. So first off, everybody
forth
gets a
the
point of
food.
astonishing fortune.
Oh, nice.
Hey, woohoo.
Secondly, no one's injured right now, are they?
No.
I don't think so.
We're just hungry and thirsty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both of which are alleviated now.
Great.
So you guys have that. Now, let me see here. I'm going to take a look at the character sheet for a sec here. So there's not really an area to put notes down, right?
Um,
No, I've just got a.
I mean, there's a miscellaneous notes and calculations on page
Where? Oh, sorry. I'm
3.
looking on the. Oh, you
Oh,
put
on the.
You can put it in the roll 20 sheet before that, can't you?
yeah, that
the
bio
bio and info. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't we do this then, guys? Because this is session 8. So after today's session, we will have spent 24 hours in Thule.
Wow.
Guys, I'm happy to say everybody has now gained 1 point of reputation with the ranging prides.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
So you can put that on your description. As you do things, so what this means is that now you can gain further by doing stuff with the Black Claws or with other ranging prides. You have a contact, which means you have someone who you can try and get stuff from, or you can get, potentially find information or, quests. In addition, as you gain up to, once you hit 3 points of reputation, you will be able to pick a reward. And the reward will either be some kind of item or some kind of follower.
Cool.
Are the ranging prides one of your factions then, Kevin?
They are, yeah. The ranging prides are a loose association of savage creatures that are unnatural hybrids of man and beast that live as nomads in the Borean plains of Thule.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it's only taken us 8 sessions.
That's all right. Well, I mean,
Well, it's basically our first session meeting anybody aside
Yeah.
from Gormal and
Who doesn't
Right.
want to kill or
He
eat
doesn't want
you?
to kill us. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so the evening is going to be, oh boy, we're going to do some carousing.
yeah.
Let's see here. Where is my... Here it is. Brood Mother Sky Fortress.
Jason, stay away from those 4 women.
This one's pretty fun. All right, so here's what I need everybody to do. Now they have... there is a brewery in Thule, and Thuleborg, and that's where they got their beer from.
cool.
So they will share that with you. I'm trying to remember where.
So are we thinking we're going to go to Tuleborg and then come back, or just go straight away?
It is it's within the last day or so that these things were taken. So if you travel to Thule and then try and come back, it is
too late.
yeah.
So we gotta go.
They may
Okay.
move on.
Okay.
But we'll be full food and water, so
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So, now the part of their sort of pride's treasury is those what do you call it? The gold and the copper that was taken that you found on those things, as was that sword. No, sorry, the sword wasn't. The gold was though. Now you've returned the 1,500 in copper. Are you returning the gold as well? Or are you going to admit that you have that?
I mean, it seems like I'll have a private
Can we
conference.
have XP for it if we return it?
Well, here's the interesting thing that you asked that. You will count as double XP for it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So
XP?
Jason is
Yes.
in for returning it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a matter
we
of honor.
should. It makes good. It makes good. Better relation with these people.
I agree.
Yeah. I
You
know.
want
So
thief.
we can just say we found other coins. We found other coins with those markings. That we in another treasure trove, and here they are.
Okay. You found other coins, or that fits interesting to Earthweaver. You found other coins with those markings.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we
like
show the gold.
The gold
Have
one.
we seen other coins with those? No.
We saw the
discs,
discs too. They have the
Yeah.
Hyperborean
Yeah.
markings on them.
Yeah, they may know
Do we want to
something
show
about
the
them.
discs to Earthweaver?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think
so
Malo and I have them, right? Malo and I have them. Or-
Yeah.
You should ask him about the undead and all that as well. Anything. he
One
knows.
more
Yeah.
bit of helpful stuff, guys. Because you returned all that gold, you guys are at reputation 2.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
with
yeah,
the ranging
God.
prize.
Sweet.
Let's see.
Man, I'm gonna get a female Wemmet companion.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know what she's gonna get.
That's
I think
quite
that was one of the
possible.
groups that's actually one of the groups I was looking at, though, Kevin. That's cool.
The ranging prize. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's you know what? It is my favorite illustration in the Monster Manual too. And like since I was a kid, I've loved that illustration. So it is. Here, I'll show it for those who may be at home who may be unfamiliar with it. That's the illustration of the Wemic.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Wemic. How do you spell that?
WEMIC.
WEMIC. Wemic.
Oh, did you show?
But these they don't really call themselves Wemic. They call themselves the Black Claw.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
calling them because I recognize.
Because you know who they are. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Where'd you put them? You put them in the. I didn't see the picture.
oh, sorry.
Did you
Yeah,
stick
I
it
just
from
held it
Monster
up. I held up to the
Oh, you held it
camera.
up from the Monster Manual. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got a copy of the
That's neat.
Monster Manual 2 a couple of years ago. But it was one of my most treasured books when I was a kid.
Yeah, I guess they made them. They made them like African lions, but I mean, since we're in Hyperborea, you can make them, Asiatic and
Exactly.
Eurasian lions, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. You can expect basically every white whale that I've had in D&D is likely going to show up in this campaign at some point.
That's
Yeah,
good.
it's a perfect campaign for anything to show up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I need everyone to do is would everyone kindly give me a Constitution test?
Ah, yes. See if you can hold your drink, gentlemen
Absolutely.
That's right.
Our ladies.
Oh, I don't drink.
and ladies.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
if you don't, yeah,
Iphigenia's out.
That's not surprising.
That's a
There are then.
okay.
Yeah. Jason is all about.
That's right.
Nice. Okay, so
Con.
Malo can't hold his liquor. Right, so
No.
if Amar doesn't drink, then
Oh, no,
that's
I've done
fine.
the wrong thing.
You don't need to
Test
make the
it.
rule.
Test of
You know what? Reagan's going to spend an astonishing point to hold her liquor. She should be able to do this stuff. Come on.
Okay. Okay, so the point of Astonishing Fortune is gone. So Iphigenia failed, Malo failed, Kane failed. Shocking.
Wow.
Jeez. Okay, so
Hello.
then let's see here. Starting with Malo. Malo, would you give me a... Well, actually, first let's do the role-playing stuff, because then we'll do the consequences after.
Can I use my astonishing fortune? Because I don't think I can handle that. That's, the shame of that. I can't be doing with that. Oh,
Okay.
come on.
Oh, do we have to roll again?
Oh, no, you can just... I'll let you
just-
have an auto-success with it.
Oh, right. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Whew.
that's fine.
God, that was a close thing.
Okay.
Drinks from that ale horn all the time.
Now, let's see here. So that means it's only Iphigenia and Malo who failed.
That's right.
Okay, so we'll get to that in a sec. Let me just...
Marlo, man. Oh, what? Jeez.
It's been a while since I've imbibed.
It's great. So it's like the
I just
quiet,
I get
mysterious.
Marlo. Listen, your secret's safe with me, Marlo. I won't let it get back home. Your brothers will never find out.
I appreciate that.
That's all right.
Gargoyle.
I owe you one.
Who are you again?
We'll talk about this in the morning. We can straighten out our story then.
That sounds good. You have to remind me of everything that just happened.
And I just laugh, big slap on the back.
You can tell them all
I
about
fall to the ground.
Oh, look, sorry. In your
Everything
delicate
just went black.
condition, in your delicate condition, I forgot your balance is off. Just laugh to myself. Well, I won't laugh
Gravity
to
has
myself. I laugh
changed to
loudly.
face a different direction.
Okay, one sec here, guys. Where is?
I mean, Jason's there with a whole barrel to himself, just drinking.
Oh yeah,
from the barrel.
Jason is.
He's just got a
going
tap
to
on
town. He's getting drunk. He's at one point. I think he's got Mallow, around the shoulder, and Mallow is stumbling against him, and Jason is. You can't believe just how much he's drunk. How can he be standing so balanced? And he says, man, the sorcery is pretty bad, but you're all right.
You don't know how long I've waited to hear that.
All right. The other one is a little weird for my taste, even though, and he's gonna look over at Iphigenia and give a big wink at her.
She's probably passed out. I mean, I rolled a 6, and she's probably like passed out.
Okay, so she doesn't see.
She's used to.
Am
as
I
an
correct in
Amazonian,
thinking?
she's used to sipping wine and guzzling beer.
Am I correct in thinking that he actually says "wink" as he does it too?
Probably.
Probably.
He probably said
Wink.
wink.
That would help me to know what you're doing because I can't see. Straight.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about who
how
was
tall,
the one.
how
who
tall
wanted
is
to-
everyone, like their characters? I just want to know.
Jason
How
is
tall
6'4".
Yeah.
Okay, he's
6'4".
5'6".
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
under 6. No, I'm 5'8".
Okay.
I'm 5'6".
All right.
A
Cool.
little fella.
All right. Yeah, so Iphigenia is like 6'1", so just.
So yeah.
And out.
Nice.
All right.
I was putting those names in there, so I've got them in the chat. Okay, so
Right.
who wanted to talk to Earthweaver?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you can approach. He sort of sits off, at the edge of the celebration. Everyone's, well, most people are imbibing. Amar is not, but even just getting your bellies full of food again, and having an opportunity to, have some nice strong drink. It's been a week or so, at least, since you guys have been shipwrecked on here. A better DM would keep track on a calendar, but not this one. 'Cause I don't fucking care. Then you approach him, Kane, and he's sort of, he's sitting in like in a lying position, that prone position that cats lie in, and his staff is still up, and he's sort of like resting his hands on it as he eats bits of the cooked auroch.
Yeah.
Kane,
Your what would be the correct title to this guy? Your wiseness.
I like it.
And I just sort of smile as if that was that was supposed to be a joke, but
He looks down-
respectful at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a bit of Celtic comedy there.
he looks down. Your hammer.
Ah, yes.
Where
Yes.
did you?
Yes, care to have a look? Would you like to?
Please, he puts down the staff, and he accepts it with two hands, and he studies it over, his eyes gleaming in the sort of reflected fire from the center of the yurt. Oh, I got to do. Oh, I just saw something. Okay. NPCs get random encounters too. I pictured for a brief moment the Braves kind of outside the yurt keeping watch. Like that's what we would see is the noise of the celebration inside, you know. And they're all super fucking pumped that you guys are going to be going to try and save their, you know, members of their pride. And we see otherwise the big moon is illuminating the tundra, stretching out in each direction. There's nothing to be seen. The Earthweaver looks this thing over and says, "Where did you find this? Did you bring this with you from across the great water?"
No, I bought a similar mundane hammer that served me well through the years, but this is a new acquisition. I found it. Where did I find it? I found it. It was the possession of a fallen foe.
You took this off another warrior. Fearsome one, no doubt.
Yes.
As a reminder,
undeniably.
You found this thing in that spider cave.
Mm-hmm. Was it with the traveling Norsemen?
No, it was the other. It was after we killed the mama spider, and then we looked at the dead bodies that the mama spider had in her collection.
Yeah. There was the hammer.
Okay.
There's a box that Preda hasn't opened yet, and there were the discs.
Yes,
and the coral staff.
Oh yeah, right.
Yes, well, your wiseness. We stumbled into a lair of a foul, giant spider creature, and its young set upon us, and a ferocious battle ensued, and we managed to slay the foul beast. And whilst getting our breath back, we realised that there was the treasure of folk who are less lucky or less prepared, and we felt we would liberate these treasures from the underground and put them to good use. And my chosen weapon is a hammer, and I was fortunate to find this fine specimen.
He looks at it. The dwarves. Crafted by the dwarves, it was.
I wondered.
And
Yes.
he hands it back to you. A weapon of great quality.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, it has proved its worth already on several occasions. In fact, slaying those creatures that raided your camp, the blow that sent the first one to the ground, would have amazed you. It totally flattened the guy. It would have brought joy to your heart, sir.
I pray that it is but the first of many.
Oh yes. Have you a plan? Have you a plan in mind for raiding these and getting your kin back? Do you know anything that we could?
Such matters of the material are not for me.
No, I see.
My sight extends beyond this world.
Oh, that's interesting. Perhaps you know of these. This land seems to be afflicted with walking dead. Do you know?
Is accursed.
Accursed. Has that always been so?
Your kind has been in this land for long. Not you, but like you. And ages ago, they fell to corruption and fell upon each other. Once this land was filled with the blight of cities and spires, but corruption grew, and the call of the Warlock King went out across all of these lands. His power brought all away. And for time unknown, we sat beneath strange stars. And only now do we find ourselves under a strange new sun. And with strange people coming back to our lands. And with this, though, he kind of shudders. I fear that who has been silent for so long may stir. And across those aeons, the Warlock King may call again. And he's studying your reaction.
And that would bring certain ruin to all who dwell here, I'm imagining.
When he entered his long slumber, it's said that his vassals turned on one another, burning their cities and people with fire, raising them with frost, bringing them low with disease, renting the very land. And in their wake, enemies came. And from his sleep, his last slumbering act was to bring all these lands from the grasp of those enemies. The rise of the blight is but one sign that those enemies now remain, or now return. We welcome friends like you, but we fear that there are darker and ancient things that will return to these lands.
And they're the enemies of the Warlock King.
They are the enemies of the Warlock King and all.
So
This
judging
is-
by what he's saying then, he's saying that just so I've got this straight, he's saying that the Warlock King is kind of like on humanity's side.
The Warlock King only knows cruelty,
Oh, so there's two baddies.
a tyrant.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what's said. The name we use to fear our children, to keep cubs in line.
Boogeyman.
The enemies that return, the enemies are only fearsome when one considers not the grasp of the warlock tyrant.
So where did these enemies come from?
He
To
kind of
bring
looks
the-
up towards the center in the top of the yurt. And he gestures up with his staff, all the gewgaws and whatnot on it kind of rattling. From there, the stars across time. And he leans in. Do you know of the Rangers?
No,
Seek
I
them.
do not.
Seek them if you would know more. For your kind, they are most knowledgeable.
Thank you. And what is your people? How do your people fit in with all this goings on?
Tell me, when you find yourself between a wall and a charging aurochs, which choice would you make?
Yes, I was starting to wonder that myself.
Your friend seems to speak well of civilization. We see no value.
Yeah, well, I mean, in truth, we've been shipwrecked, it seemed that civilization would be the easiest way to get some food and some shelter. But now I'm here with your hospitality. I'm not in a massive rush to get to Tuleborg.
If you bring
I'm just as keen to help you get your people back. You know.
you bring the strength of arms and you bring the willingness to turn it against our enemies, that is all the Black Claw need of their friends.
Yeah, well, that's no worries, man.
He gestures.
I need some food. You gave us food. You gave us hospitality. Kane has got plenty of hammer for the good and to get things put right and pay his debts. Never let it be said that Kane didn't pay his debts of honor. You've done us good, and I thank you for that.
He nods. If you would, yeah. So I think that's. Unless you've got something else you want to talk to him about, that is, or ask him about. That's probably what he leaves it at.
Yeah. I'm happy with that. Kane's head would be full of this predicament now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he might need to settle his nerves with some more food and drink.
Yeah. Okay. Does anyone else wish to talk to him?
Not to him. I want to start telling stories with Strongclaw, Strongwalker.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming you're doing that.
Yeah. I'm telling Saga the Volsung style epics.
Yeah. So you're stomping around in front of the fire, gesturing wildly as you're screaming out these epics. Anyone else want to do anything at the fire before we turn to the carousing results?
I want to, but I'm not physically capable. I'm like wandering off like into the wilderness.
Oh, we can assume that you guys, before we make that whatever role-playing stuff you guys want to do, that'll have happened before we do the consequences of the, yeah.
Okay,
that's why I wanted to do the carousing rolls last, is because you guys, before you got too deep in your cups, you would have had a chance to do whatever you want.
Right. Shall we show these discs to Earthweaver?
Yeah, let's show the discs to Earthweaver.
Okay. Who was carrying the discs, by the way?
I think we split them up. No, I think.
Remember, there's like three of them that are sort of connected together.
Yeah.
Oh, then it was Malo or I don't know. However,
I think it was you, since I'm usually up at the front. I don't want them to be in danger.
That's what Janine was carrying them.
So we'll say if you both want to walk up, you both come up, and King gets up and goes away. You walk up, and he looks up at the two of you, and he looks at you, Iphigenia, and he says, "The spirits walk with you."
Or vengeance, at least.
Those spirits speak quite loudly to our people. Sit.
So we sit.
I'll sit. Yeah.
Okay. So,
and I say you mentioned but other items having those markings. We found these, and I pull out the discs in the ruin.
Okay. And
deep in the earth, we found them.
And
this have similar markings.
There's a look on his face, or his eyes, where the light seems to dance in the reflection. And he says, Where did you find these?
There was a series of caves. It was far to the southwest, maybe 6 or 7 days. A cave system. Seemed like a part natural, part something old. But
something old.
We found them. Yeah, we found them. Actually, some of my companions. I think Mala, you were there too, right? You found them on those dead bodies that were in the cave system.
That's right.
Yeah. So
they were carried by others.
Yes.
That's correct.
He looks over. Tell me, did you find anything else with them?
We did find a staff made of coral.
your strange friend with the darkened skin. He's not a ranger.
Not to my knowledge.
Are you aware he wears the cloak of one?
No.
Oh, I guess that's right.
The
That's that
sealskin
like bear cloak, the sealskin cloak. Okay.
I mean, when he says ranger, does Malo, is that a name for something? A group?
I think
I
that
guess.
let's see here. The
That's
give me an intelligence, or give me a d6 roll.
Okay.
Let's just see with. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know. So the Rangers, basically everything out of the core rulebook, that's what you know about the Rangers. That these are
okay, great.
it's an order that is specifically organized to fight the foes of man. They know an extraordinary amount about they're secretive about their knowledge because they know that those foes can be insidious and deceptive and can manipulate and corrupt people. But so you don't know an awful lot about what they know, but that's what you've heard of.
Okay.
You maybe never met one either, but wow, that's weird. That
Yeah. Perhaps these bodies we encountered were that of rangers. We're here for some reason. I wonder if it has to do with this blight. Yeah.
The cloak came from those bodies as well.
Actually, I don't remember where we. Yeah, different bodies. I don't remember which ones.
Weren't the cloak with the spider stuff? No.
No,
Yeah.
so
No.
there was one set
It
of
was?
things with the spider. There was the other set of things that were the dead adventurers, and the cloak was with the
Right.
dead adventurers.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where
The discs were as well.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yes.
So
Yes.
you found it. Then these were taken off a fallen ranger.
This seems to be the case.
These, and he gestures with the staff. Those were crafted by the city builders.
City builders.
Those who built the spires. The people.
And those would be the Hyperboreans.
The people of the warlock tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Malo and I would know that kind of lore.
Well, not here. No, like the thing is, with this place is a complete blank slate.
Oh,
yeah.
So you're not sure where whether that's referring to. I mean, that from spending time and for some of you guys
Like
growing
Cromorium
up
has
in Cromorium, yeah, has spires,
Yeah.
yeah. But he says, yeah, that's
Well, so I described the spires from Cromorium that we've seen, and I say similar to what that
Yeah.
I described.
he says we avoid only the bravest or most foolhardy would go to those accursed places, but that is what they say.
Have you heard of rangers in this area in the past?
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
With the enemy returned, we made quick friends with your rangers.
You did. Are there many?
Not enough.
Uh-huh. Perhaps we should find them and return their treasures. Obviously, they're doing work that will benefit all.
They... The ones we know. It's like I have a name for you as well.
Okay.
Guess I'll be watching this back on YouTube and taking notes.
I know, me too.
I'm taking notes right now.
Yeah.
So now I know why Iphigenia drinks herself into a stupor, because this is pretty heavy. Because
Totally.
From
We
what I've
both
read,
did. That's funny.
yeah, from what I've read, this is not good. It heralds the return of, I have an idea who the warlock tyrant might be, but if you want me to roll, Kevin, I can.
Oh no! I mean, you can. Who do you think the war?
Well, the way you describe it, it sounds like the Ashen Worm is returning.
No,
Something like that. Okay, but I can. That's why.
What I can tell you is it's possible,
Uh,
but this is. Well, I'm not going to tell you. I'll leave you guys to.
Okay, yeah. We can make our own
Ruminate.
theories.
It's much
make
more
our own-
interesting
Make our own. Yeah. Make
Yeah.
our own
to see what.
Cool.
Okay,
theories.
so 1 second here. I did have a name. Where was it here?
Yeah, but the return of the Hyperboreans, right, in that capacity still, because they made those black spires in Cormorium that are haunted and people die when they go there.
Yeah.
His name is Ahote.
Ahote.
He's a ranger. Yeah.
He is.
And do you know where we can find Ahote?
Ahote is out in the wilds,
Mm-hmm.
but he returns to the city.
He does. Aha.
He brings us news of it.
We will
We have not
search him
seen
out.
him since before the winter.
Uh-huh. Is that abnormal?
He comes and goes. Such is the way of rangers.
Yes, that does not surprise me. Do you have any sense of what these discs may do or be?
Those
Yeah.
keys,
Keys.
unbinders.
Hmm.
Though
What kind of locks would they unbind? Yes, Reagan is there. Sorry.
I was going to ask the same. Yeah.
those would be used to unbind things of great value or great danger.
Mm-hmm.
The city builders both secured their riches and sealed their enemies behind such things.
Mm-hmm.
They're common then. These are these.
Yeah, we may need to get these to some area of safety to protect them from falling into the wrong hands.
Wrong hands, yeah.
You took these off a ranger.
Mm-hmm.
If the ranger... What did the ranger look like? You guys remember it was all Norsemen, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Vikings.
So describe that kind of Scandinavian sort of look.
Okay. Not a Hote, then. That is good.
Mm-hmm. But
He
some
is
of
a
his
friend
men.
to the Black Claw. Then, if this was with a ranger, it either was recovered or he had intent to use those discs.
Interesting.
You will take those with you when you go, yes?
Yes, we will. And we will seek out Ahote. He will know what to do with them, I suspect.
He may help.
It's
Now,
a
anything
nephew,
else you
not a
guys wanna-
nephew.
It makes me wonder if down in them cave complex there's some
Yeah.
nasty ting.
Yeah.
We didn't
Agreed.
actually get through it all, did we? We didn't.
There was more that we
One-
could have explored.
Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like maybe it was good that we didn't.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Will, your sidekick showed up.
Yeah.
Will, you got Robin
Yeah.
looking in the background.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
There's a con in town today, so he's going to a
Nice. Looks great.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah.
con. Is that
Oh,
cool?
that's great.
Oh, man.
That makes you
Yeah.
Batman.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
great. The costume is
Nice.
terrific.
It is
That's
awesome.
awesome. Oh, you're great.
Yeah.
Right. Looks good, son. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Who knew?
Okay. All right. Love you. Love you too.
Okay, we need to run mutants and masterminds.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're streaming this too. 'Cause
That's
Yeah.
Doors
awesome.
opens up and Dick Grayson's hanging out in the background.
Yeah.
So good. Okay. Do you guys have anything else you want to ask Earthweaver?
I do not. That was the main area of interest I had. And
Okay.
plus, I think I'm starting to get a little bit too far into my cups at this point.
Yeah, yeah. So then let's.
Sorry, Reagan does ask. It's like you mentioned the eternal symbols. Do your people use them?
We. He shakes. Those were the latecomers.
People who came here recently, or
The people who came recently, they spoke the tongue of the latecomers. And she says something in Old Norse, or he says something in Old Norse.
Yeah, that's the
You
Norse.
can recognize it as that.
yeah.
They came. Strange that when your people came from across the great water and spoke the same tongue as them.
We might see Jason's eyes flick up as he hears it. He's in the middle of miming out Sigurd stabbing Fafnir from his pit, and he's like this. Somebody spoke something. Back to the story.
Yeah.
So they can
Okay.
pull up this book.
So why don't we do this? Let's have everyone who failed their con save,
Yeah.
or not save, but their con test.
Test. Mhm.
Each of you give me a d20 roll.
Spontaneous combustion.
Get too close to the fire.
Okay.
Exactly.
The fumes ignite.
Yeah. Watch,
Okay,
I can
so then-
I can breathe fire.
Iphigenia, you have what is described as the hangover from hell. So your first day of adventuring, so tomorrow, you will suffer -2 to hit and to saves,
Hmm.
and you must make an intelligence test with each spell to avoid a mishap.
Wow.
Well, fortunately, we'll be traveling with them from the south.
That's cool.
Yeah, well,
Well, I mean,
Malo.
yeah.
So at some point, and we'll end the session with this, you stagger outside, drunk beyond measure,
Right.
beyond reckoning. What is your god? What's the god you pray
Oh.
at base? You
It's Aurora's.
okay? I love
Yeah.
it. Okay,
The
give me one
wind.
sec here. And I need to quickly look up something.
I feel a vision coming on or something.
Okay, one sec here. I need to check one more thing. And man, this book is laid out so well too.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
I do like the short version too, the player's book.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, I've been making a lot
The
of use of
covers.
it.
The cover's fantastic. Oh
Yeah,
my God,
totally.
the art is-
Well, it's actually like I'll tell you something after we stream because I don't want my players for the gaming marathon to know anything.
The devious one.
To be honest, I don't think they watch the stream anyway. But
But you never know. You
you
can't.
never
be
know.
too
No, out of an abundance of caution.
No real GM would betray his secrets online in such a foolhardy manner.
I know. Loose lips sink campaigns. So, Aurorus, what it says about Aurorus, Aurorus is the deity of chaos associated with aurorae, stars, meteor showers, comets, sorcery, and witchcraft. Aurorus is reputed to be a formless goddess who typically manifests as a swirling, sparkling mist. The belief that
Wow,
Aurorus
he's finishing up.
dwells within the most shimmering of aurorae that fills the Hyperborean sky is commonly held. Three-faced effigies are carved to represent Aurorus, but these are nothing more than imagined representations. She speaks with a tripartite female voice and grants knowledge in exchange for animal and human sacrifice. Now, Malo, you are, for whatever reason, it turns out you're a bit of a fucking sour drunk. So there
I can
is
see that.
deep melancholy that has set in with you, and you stagger out of the yurt at deepest in your cups, full
On
of
the whiskey, should have stuck to the beer.
That's right.
Listen,
He always gets like this with the spirits, man. I tell you, I tell him every time.
you should
Every
remember
time.
that old Norse saying, beer have no fear, liquor never been
Oh,
tickler.
right. Yeah. I wish I spoke Old Norse.
So you stagger out into the wilds under the open skies. I think you've got this despondency is driven by a desire to learn something. What is it that you're so torn up with that you need to learn?
Well, I'm trying to. My whole quest has been to find this lost artifact from the Mystic Order that banished me.
Yep.
Which was dishonored my whole family, and I've spent 20 years searching for this thing, have not found a sign of it. So I'm looking for any clues as to where it might have been, gone to 1,000 years ago, that I might be able to retrieve it.
Okay. So you are okay. So how is that come like so foremost in your mind right now? Why is that?
Oh, in this right here.
Right now, like what is it it's something.
So based on what Earthweaver just told us about the Warlock King, and it's sounding like there are creatures and beings returning of great evil and darkness, and the Rangers have been clearly being slaughtered. The Mystic Order I formerly belonged to needs to step up and join this fight. And so this has reminded me that I'm not even part of that order anymore.
Okay. So you're out there, and what is it that you're pleading to Aurorus to do?
To show me a sign of where I can potentially locate this artifact, if it still exists.
Okay. So you're out there, and you're sort of bleary-eyed, that awful drunken sobbing, snot.
Unfortunately, I do.
Bellowing out at the sky. It's then that they're sort of the stars start taking on a bit of a twinkling color to them, and there is a shimmering wave of green that just seems to come from nowhere and fills the sky. And around you can see that there is more of this mist, but it's not that bone-chilling ice mist. It's this crystal clear, kind of sparkling mist that obscures your vision, but also reveals these brilliant motes of light flickering from within. And the three, you hear sort of tripled over voices, a young woman, a middle-aged woman, and an old woman's voice, all speaking in unison. What is Malo's full name again? Or is it just Malo?
It's Malo Black.
Malo Black. And this voice kind of echoes through you, and you can feel it moving through your soul. The Aurora have heard. Knowledge we have to offer. What you seek is held by the trout. And this knowledge comes at cost. And you're sort of that it's true. I need to find the trout. This will lead me to this ages-long lost item. Find the trout. And then build an order. Build an order in these lands.
Sounds a bit fishy to me.
The Aurora. This we charge you. And you can feel their power infuse you as you are affected by a quest spell. You must build an order in Thuleborg.
Nice. That's awesome.
Oh, what?
That's awesome.
And as the mists dissipate, and as the stars return above you, and you are on your knees, weeping and blubbering a drunken mess over this, and we hear the roars and the chants of Yason from within the yurt, our camera will turn skyward to that blackened sky, and we will say, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Awesome.
Okay, let's get out the game here, and we'll commence with the outro. Carl, if you're being called off too, you don't. I know the outro's a long thing, so don't feel that you need it around here.
All right.
And before I forget, Kev, where did that carousing rules come from?
The carousing rules came from Broodmother Sky Fortress.
Ah, cool. Okay, that's awesome.
That's what I'm using in my campaign. But
It's
I haven't had enough
it's
money yet.
super fucking punishing sometimes, but the results are always really. They've always been really great story stuff.
Yeah.
Like we had in our Barrow Maze campaign, one guy got hammered and then woke up the next day with tattoos all over his face to a cult that was opposed to the thing he was trying to curry favor with.
Nice.
It was awesome. All right. So for those listening at home, thanks so much for joining us for episode 8 of our Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea campaign, Reavers of Thule. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, alternatively, you could reach me on by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. And you can also find me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can also find me on my podcast, which is likewise called Dungeon Musings. And you can find that on Anchor, Stitcher, Podcatcher, any of your favorite podcast platforms. I most recently ranted about the current state of my gaming slate and the kind of moment of clarity I had over the Easter weekend. And also raved about this campaign again. So if you enjoy the content in the channel, you might enjoy checking that out as well. You may also notice that there is a link in the description of the video. Well, there's a couple links. One of those is to Northwind Adventures that publishes Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. And if you enjoyed the game and it seems like something you might want to check out, you can find a way of getting them there. And I've also got a link to the DriveThru RPG store where you can get the core rulebook in PDF. In addition to the actual massive book, there is also now, as Carl mentioned, a really beautiful player's guide that has just all you need to play in it, and it's both of them are just fucking awesome books. There is also a link in the description to something called Heroes Save Villages, and that is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. And from now, time of recording, up until July 1st, we are running a raffle to benefit them. So for every $25 that you donate between now and July 1st, you will be entered once each time into our raffle. And on July 1st, we're going to do a live draw of this. And we have a number of very cool prizes available for the winners of the prizes, including the grand prize, which is a copy of Beetle and Grimm's Platinum Edition Waterdeep Dragon Heist, which is a $500 US product that you can potentially win for a $25 donation.
Which you can't get anywhere else either, by the way.
Yeah,
sold out.
Yeah, you can't get it anywhere else. It is only available through, well, it's only available that way right now or on the secondary market. In addition to that, if that's not your bag, we also have prizes include the core rulebook for Fantasy Flight's new Legend of the Five Rings game, the core rulebook for the RuneQuest Glorantha, published by Chaosium. Cubicle 7 has donated a copy of the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition, as well as some PDFs. Paradigm has offered, not Paradigm, what's it called? I always get it wrong. The guys who make Night's Black Agents.
Pelgrim?
What is it?
Pelgrim.
Yeah.
Pelgrim has very generously donated PDF copies of the Night's Black Agents rulebook and the brand new Mutant City Blues 2nd edition. There's also Modifius has just donated a full set of the Star Trek RPG PDFs and a full set of the Conan PDFs. And there's also a handful of other neat things that are available as prizes. So if you enjoy the content in the channel, if you want to take a chance at winning one of those awesome prizes, you can follow through in the link where you can learn about the other available rewards for the Hero Save Villages campaign. And you can learn more about the really great charity, SOS Children's Villages International, that the raffle and that the campaign benefits. Obviously, I don't want anyone to feel obligated to make any donations, but if you enjoy the content in the channel, if you enjoyed watching us all play, I just ask that you consider clicking through and seeing what is available there. Last but not least, I want to thank my players. So guys, thank you again. Every morning on a Saturday morning, I get up thinking, why the fuck did I get up? And then I get to the table and I remember, this is why the fuck I got up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's 6 a.m. for me, so I definitely think that.
Carl, Robert, Will, thank you so much for making it today. Thanks so much for playing.
Thanks, Kev.
Cheers,
It was awesome,
guys.
as usual.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Cheers, everyone.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Thanks.
So until next time then, guys, for those listening at home, thanks again for joining us, and we will see you again soon. Until then, happy gaming.